live again. Dry bones shall rise again. Oh my goodness. Hima mercy. Kweku owusu pepra. Kofi owusu pepra. Oh, I love it. Dry bones shall live again. Dry bones. It says, I saw a valley. It was full of bones, and behold, they were very dry. Hey. It's a valley. It's full of bones, and they were very dry. It means they had been dead for a long time. And then it says, Son of man, can these bones live? Oh, I love that question. And the answer is even better. It says, Oh God, thou knowest. You are the creator. You have all power. And it says, prophesy to the wind. So even though it's God who has the power, he will still use a man to make the difference. It's a powerful, powerful scripture. Ezekiel 37 is very popular. So it says, you, the man, must do the prophesying. So the miracle involves men too. And it says, after the wind was prophesied to, oh my goodness, they began to move. So there were different roles. The Lord initiated the process, but he used a man to bring the bones back to life. So you are the vessel God will use to bring people back to life. I don't know what's dying in your life, what's dying around you, something that's not giving life. It's your job to prophesy and to make sure the wind of life blows back in that business, blows back in that marriage, blows back on those kids, even on your family, your community. Dry bones shall live again. It's the 8th day of the 7th month. It's a new day. Thank you for staying with your radio show that makes more sense. Citi Breakfast Show. Breathe life into that thing that's dying. That's what ministry means. It's impacting the world with the life of God. And for us at ADB, we give money to businesses that are dying. So ADB is offering a variety of loans, business loans, personal loans, so that dry businesses will live again. Dry farms will receive life. Call 0302 240 043. Actually, let me do this again. 0302 224 043. Let's talk about lending in the agri sector. ADB, truly agri and more. Celine Dion. Welcoming us to the Monday edition. It's a new beginning. It's the 8th day of the 7th month. It's a brilliant start. New platform. Wipe the slate clean. Start again. And of course, the newspaper review brought to us by Total. The incredible benefits of Excellium, a 3-in-1 premium fuel. Cleans your engine, extends its life, lowers your fuel consumption. Cumulative effects of anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. Lowers your vehicle's consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. Also brought to you by Fidelity Bank with our Pan-African payment and settlement system to help you pay and settle that thing across the continent. Whether it's Nigeria, Gambia, Liberia, Guinea, or Sierra Leone, the PAPS is here, and Fidelity makes sending money through PAPS so easy. Alright, so we want to start the newspaper review segment. Funny thing, Richard's guy is in black, Nathan is in white. I'm not sure what's going on.
You're in blue black.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So you know, today I got home late. We had a program. NDC flag bearer did an event. Started on time actually.
It was a lovely event actually.
Yes, and then basically ended at 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I go home and finished
everything to sleep,
it was 12:30.
That's right.
Same here.
But we're here.
Yeah. For the Republic.
It's called Work and Happiness. It's called Work and Happiness. So most of the papers even missed the event because they would have gone to print before.
Exactly. What I have to say though is that look, I mean, what we saw yesterday was it was phenomenal. You know, of course, people wouldn't agree with every answer that His Excellency, the former president, gave, but it was a fantastic opportunity for journalists to ask questions and for him to be in the capacity to answer us for 2 hours. Incredible.
It was 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Now, what we should ask is that the current Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, should also offer himself to Ghanaian journalists in a similar fashion so that we can ask him questions.
Thank you.
Because for far too long, it seems that he's been sort of...
You want him?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, we need to feed...
You need him.
Oh, yeah, we need to...
You are calling him to come.
Oh, yeah. He should make himself...
Wouldn't they say he's copying?
No.
He should do the same.
No, I mean, yes, he should face the Shahindrin.
So he should invite us.
Yes.
Put us at Melvin people.
Exactly. Yes.
And then they should unleash him.
He alone should sit on the other front.
Then we'll deal with him.
Yes, we'll deal with him.
Looking for him.
We need him.
Here, if we don't want any assist and
you want him back, he'll do it. I'm sure if he gets a chance,
whole double people, he be there against us. We'll ask him questions.
So we hear you.
Okay.
Journalists say they want Bawumia.
Yes.
So that's the headline for the morning.
And I believe I've spoken for all journalists, including the president.
That should have even happened ages ago.
Alright, so let's get into the headlines.
The details of the newspapers this morning. Let me take you to the Daily Guide for this morning. The big story on the front page says, Na Toshi rallies MPP for Bawumia Napo ticket. She's smiling here on the front page of the Daily Guide. Also, GBA back CJ's request, and it has to do with increasing the number of justices on the Supreme Court. And Chef Smith cooks GWR certificate, and that is Guinness World Record certificate.
All right, the new finder says prioritize mobile interoperability as potential to replace Africa's single currency dream. That's Dr. Bawumia speaking there. Now, Toshi, Ricketts Hagan and others defend NAPO against arrogant tag. NIA board defends Professor Tefua against union's accusations, and 569,095 start BC today as government releases 55.8 million cedis.
The Herald says this morning, security analyst condemns Yoko Head's threats on critic, calls for Attorney General's action. Also on the front page this morning, we're told MPP race to succeed Napo intensifies in Menchia South. There are two gentlemen here on the front page. Also, Court of Appeal nominee caught in UK child neglect saga. That's the Herald with that story. And Bryce Simmons floors Fidelity Bank in round 1 of ECG's inflated dollar exchange rate case. Some of the stories here on the front page this morning.
The Chronicle says cutting down youth unemployment, GIS, fire service, police, NACOP to recruit 11,000 personnel. Recruitment starts this week. Arenatoshi speaking, we must all respect Baumia's choice. And Dr. Mustafa Abdelhamid, MPA boss, is saying CRM has created business opportunities.
The Republic Press says this morning, Supreme Court at breaking point as Chief Justice sounds alarm on judge shortage. Also, Yoko boss challenges Bona as she dismisses threat allegations. And African leaders, as you read much earlier, are to embrace continent-wide mobile money interoperability.
All right, the Daily Analyst. Bernard, you're saying that the papers didn't have it. Well, it looks like the Daily Analyst, captured a few points from yesterday's event. So, Media Encounter launch a renewed fight against corruption. Mahama vows, and GJA commends Mahama for engaging media. All of that on the front page of the Daily Analyst. Other stories: Anya Sotom MPP inaugurates campaign team, and Haruna Idrisu calls out flawed affirmative action bill.
The Anchor newspaper says Baumia announces next big agenda, vows to pursue Momo interoperability as common currency for Africa. Also, the Mancha situation is here on the front page. People seeking to replace Matthew Opoku Prempeh as the MPP's candidate for that constituency. Residents on high alert over planned gays party at Mamprobi. Okay, that's something else happening in the news. And BEC starts today with 569,095 candidates expecting to write the exams.
The Daily Searchlight says Office of Special Prosecutor Act unlawful, suit filed in the Supreme Court. And the paper is saying that the stories or the story is on pages 2, 7 and 9. Yeah. Other stories: alert, fake HIV cure advertised on social media, and other stories on the front page of the Daily Searchlight.
The Inquisitor: jobs for boys and girls syndrome. Uproar at EPA as presidency reinstates retired DG as technical advisor to the executive director. Also on the front page, Consulate of Mali in trouble over 2022 ghastly accident. And there's a feature article here that says becoming Napo, the MPP 2024 vice presidential candidate. And he's seen here, I'm told by the newspaper, that he's here with his grandmother, who is over 100 years old.
Wow. The Informer newspaper says, avoiding the Kenyan example, don't play Chaskele with Ghanaians. Haruna warns politicians. Baumia pledges commitment to intercontinental Momo operability, and John Mahama says, I'll retrieve stolen lands for you, as he promises Dangbe chiefs.
And finally, from me, the BNFT says GRA declares July as Tax Education Month. The big story says from protection to strangulation, how import taxes are hurting businesses, indirectly promoting smuggling and endangering public and denying economy much needed revenue. Yesterday, former President Mahama spoke extensively about the issue of taxes and how he intends to reform that space. Also on the front page, GSE embraces data-driven modernization to meet market demands. And some of the stories here on the front page.
The two final papers for me. The new publisher says,
lots of stories today.
Yeah, I'm humbled. Napo on VIP approval. And there's a picture of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. I don't know whether he's kneeling or lying down with some oil. I don't know. Yeah. Other stories: CRM creating investment opportunities, and Nwete Amobi removed as Apollonia chief.
It's called the pensive prayerful posture.
Okay.
You don't know. It's called pensive prayerful posture.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thinking about the word.
Okay.
I tell you.
Economy Times.
Economy Times. BOG hopeful of city stability, and Ghana EU trade volume hits 6 billion euros in 2023.
Let me just give you two websites locally and then an international story that's gaining traction. So on citinewsroom.com, VRA announces potential spillage of excess water. I know when I say that, no, it is guys. You know, like when a dog, you come to the house and the hairs on his skin rises. So I say, of course, on board dam, VRA announces potential spillage. Now it's guys say, huh? Like Sarkodie, huh? So this is a new announcement. I'll give you the details in the story. Then there are a lot of Mahama stories. Will instill fiscal discipline to do with exchange rate fluctuations. Nobody in my government will be allowed to buy state assets. Mahama says so. We'll conduct a forensic audit when we win power. This is on National Cathedral. Then I think one of the most important things, Free SHS has come to stay. I'm committed to improving it. So that's some headlines from the event. He also spoke about Supreme Court and other things. Now, my Joe Online also, he pledges lean, a highly efficient government to curb expenditure. And then he says, have been exorcised from father for all syndrome. Mahama pledges impartiality in corruption fight. Mining in forest reserves will be banned. Environmentalists should be happy to hear this. And then he says his administration will ensure a fiscal discipline to address exchange rate. Now I'll give you two education stories. Osafo Mafo criticizes Ghana's educational system, says it doesn't address national issues. Sometimes I wonder, he's been senior minister and quite significant in this government too. Maybe he's been objective, maybe because he's not necessarily the one running it, I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Akufo-Addo is urging candidates to eschew exam or practice in BC. Now, everywhere else, there's something like what they call panic stations around France, okay? So BBC says France faces deadlock after left alliance beats far right, but with no majority. So a lot of people are more afraid of the far right than they seem to be of the center left.
The suggestion is that maybe as the people were going to the ballot, they said, no, let's not go there.
So France 24 has a beautiful headline. France's leftist New Popular Front wins a shock victory, but now the hard part begins. So quite a number of people are predicting it will be difficult to inform a government. So for example, Bloomberg says France faces political gridlock after left towards far right victory. So take note, the UK, the leftists are back. France, the left is back.
Brazil.
As well. Brazil also, the left is there. So for those of you who don't understand left right, we'll probably explain that later during the show. But basically, those who lean more towards social policies.
Yeah, so the US, they have the left, but we will come back.
You are right.
No, not right, but the man, you do not, you will come back.
All right, so let's pick a few headlines. This one.
No, but let me actually read the VRA letter so that for purposes of so that we alert everybody.
Yeah.
So July 5 on the letterhead of the VRA, it says notification of possible controlled spillage of water from the Akonsobo Dam. A stakeholder engagement announced here. So the statement says that the Volta River Authority intends to commence arrangements or engagements regarding the potential controlled spillage of water from the Akonsobo Dam. Now, the precautionary measure is crucial to maintaining the structural integrity of the dam and ensuring the safety of our communities. Now, we propose, this is the VRA saying, they propose to engage you and the relevant team to discuss the potential implications, mitigative measures, and information dissemination. Now, the undersigned will be following up to confirm the suitability of the dates and times for the engagements. We count on your utmost cooperation.
So
this is signed by...
This is more public than the September last year one.
Exactly.
This appears to have more people involved. So hopefully this will be done in a better way.
Yeah, and it's signed by the Deputy Chief Executive Engineer Ken Arthur. And it's been signed, copied to as many as 50 people.
And I'll give you the details. Okay, so this is what I want to do. Let's do a Napo round in the newspapers. Then I'll do a Mahama round online.
Okay.
Then you do the Yoko and other controversial stories around. So give me a few Napo stories quickly. Okay.
So if you go to the Napo related story, the Daily Guide has one. Natoshi rallies MPP for Baumia Napo ticket. The story is by a Daily Guide reporter, and it says the district Assembly's Common Fund Administrator and key member of the New Patriotic Party, Irene Natoshi Adolate, has urged the party to rally support for Dr. Baumia and Matthew Opoku Prempeh, reacting to the election of Dr. Opoku Prempeh as the running mate to partner with Dr. Mahamudu Baumia to lead the MPP in the December 7th polls. Irene Natoshi Adolate congratulated Napo, as he is affectionately called, and extolled his experience, dedication, and attributes in politics spanning decades. And then there's a direct quote here.
There's still other papers on that.
Yes, the new finder, that's on page 4. Natoshi, Ricketts, Hagan, others defend Napo against arrogant tag. And the story says several prominent figures have come to the defense of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the running mate of the NPP, against accusations of arrogance. Dr. Prempeh, who has been branded as arrogant by some detractors, received endorsements from notable personalities including Irene Natoshi, MP for Cape Coast South, Kweku Ricketts Hagan, Andrew Kofi Ejapa Mensah, and legal practitioner Kofi Bentel, among others.
All right,
yeah,
so still on Napo.
Yeah, if you go to the Inquisitor, they have an article analyzing how he became the vice presidential nominee and related issues on page 4. It is announced actually on the front page of the newspaper. So grab a copy of the Inquisitor and read that article for yourself. But we're told that there is already jostling within the Mensah South constituency to replace him as Member of Parliament. And the Herald has that story. It says Posters of Nana Owusu Afriye Prempeh, the Mensah South constituency treasurer, and a biological brother of Dr. Opoku Prempeh have surfaced, indicating his intention to contest the parliamentary seat. Now, the race is set to be between Nana Owusu Afriye Prempeh, a staff of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation (GNPC), and Nana Ejay Bafo-Ewa, a private legal practitioner and a board member of the National Petroleum Authority, said to be the favorite of the General Secretary of the governing New Patriotic Party, Justin Kodia Frimpong.
Let me give you the Mahama round of stories. So there are lots of them. If you go to Citi Newsroom, for example, he says free SHS has come to stay. He would rather work to improve it. And then he says he will set up commission to investigate looting of Ghana lands. Then he says that he won't countenance public officers engaged in small-scale mining. Let me read the free SHS one, which I think quite interesting. Former flag bearer of the NDC and former President John Mahama has affirmed his commitment to the free SHS policy and promised to improve it if he is re-elected as president in the upcoming elections. Now, the free SHS policy has come to stay, and I'm committed to improving it, he said while addressing journalists in Accra. His press briefing touched on a number of issues, including the economy, corruption, and then issues around the social sector. He promised a lean, highly efficient government to curb expenditure, and he also said his 24-hour economy will deal with exports to stabilize the cedi. And then he says he will renew the fight against corruption and he will strengthen the special prosecutor. All those stories on citinewsroom.com and other websites. Now, let me stay with education since I picked up on that. The president is wishing BEC candidates the best. 500,000 BEC candidates are writing their paper today, and he's asking them to avoid cheating and just focus on their exam. But there's an education story I wanted to bring you. Afamafo criticizes Ghana's educational system, says it isn't addressing national issues. So many things. Now, senior presidential advisor Afamafo has raised concern about the effectiveness of Ghana's educational system. He noted that despite the high number of educated individuals, the country continues to grapple with significant challenges. Now, the former finance minister highlighted issues such as poor sanitation, flooding with severe consequences, and the recurring damage to school infrastructure whenever it rains. Addressing International Educational Summit on the theme, etc., etc., Osafo-Mafu emphasized the educational system should play a crucial role in solving societal problems rather than exacerbating them. So he was saying our societal problems are not coming down. Maybe education should be blamed. Let's do other stories.
Okay, so I want to go back to something that's been in the news since last week. Supreme Court at breaking point. And yesterday, former President Mahama addressed some issues surrounding appointments to the courts. Now, Kwesi Kuranton on the Tinkran, actually, on the front page of the Republic Press says, Chief Justice Gertrude Saba Tokonu has responded to criticisms from some lawyers and the National Democratic Congress over her request for additional Supreme Court justices. Now, in a detailed letter to President Akufo-Addo, she justified the need for at least 20 justices to expedite cases and improve efficiency. Now, the Chief Justice has therefore provided statistical analysis of the Supreme Court's workload, showing a significant increase in cases from 2019 to the present. Now, she explained that increasing the number of judges would enable the formation of standalone panels, reducing pressure on justices and improving decision-making.
Meanwhile, the AG seems to agree with her. Citi Newsroom has a story by Abigail Lassa that the Attorney General has affirmed that the proposal to augment the number of justices of the Supreme Court from the standard 15 alongside the CJ is in line with Constitution and will promote efficient justice delivery. So those are the stories there. Nathan?
If you go to the Economic Times, BLG hopeful of city stability.
All right.
So this is a very critical part of the country's life. The city is expected to remain stable on the back of improved economic fundamentals, strong accumulation of foreign exchange reserves under the Gold for Reserve program and the agreements with the Official Creditor Committee and sovereign bondholders on debt restructuring. According to the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, this should all in concert provide the basis for stability of the exchange rate going forward. Government has received $360 million as the third tranche of Ghana's bailout package with the IMF. Now, the cash is meant for budget support and stabilization of the local currency, and it was officially credited to the central bank's account last week.
All right.
Okay, so let me take you to some security-related stories. So the Herald has a story that says security analyst condemns Yoko Head's threats on critic. Now, the story says security analyst Colonel Festus Abuaje has condemned the alleged threats made by the executive director of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko Mamitiwa Adodankwa, against fellow security analyst Dr. Adambona and his family. Now, he questioned whether the Commissioner of Police, COP, intends to use rogue elements within the service against Dr. Bona and his family, describing COP Adodankwa's conduct as quote-unquote despicable, criminal, and dangerous.
Let me take you international, because a lot of people are commenting about France. So, for example, France 24 says France's leftist New Popular Front wins a shock victory, but now the hard part begins. So this story says that France's New Popular Front party has won the largest number of seats in the final round of a snap parliamentary election, leaving behind the remnants of President Emmanuel Macron's centrist camp and the far-right National Rally, trailing in third place. It's a staggering result for a closely fought election that has left the country without a clear candidate for prime minister, and the hastily assembled broad leftist coalition without an absolute majority that would allow it to push through an ambitious program. The problem is that the left guys, the centrists and the right, have never formed a government together before.
It's difficult.
So basically, and of course, the angle that other people are using is that the far right did not win, because a lot of people were worried about Marie Le Pen's party. But basically, this was a legislative election, and the far-right party came third. And of course, we are told that there's uncertainty in France, and because of that, lots of people are commenting on this. And by the way, there are quite a number of countries now with left-leaning governments. We'll talk about that when we do the main show. Thank you, Richard.
All right.
Thank you, Nathan Kwao. The Citi Business News is next. Stay with us.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Go me. What time we?
Seven o'clock, City Business News with Access Bank, MTN and Goyle. Ashika says has the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. My name is Nashi Kasiza. Coming up, Ghana Association of Banks, the banks claims that commercial banks have begun processes to close personal foreign currency savings accounts of customers. Also coming up, Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association suspends its planned demonstration over implementation of 5% excise tax on all locally manufactured plastic products. We'll tell you why. And later, momentum in treasury market persists as investors show mild interest in T-bills during the latest money market auction. Let's settle for the details now. The banking public will have to heave a sigh of relief as the Ghana Association of Banks dismisses claims that commercial banks in the country have begun processes to close the personal foreign currency savings accounts of customers by July 31. The association explains that some banks are implementing measures to address the situation where customers hoard foreign currencies in their account, leading to speculation. Citi Business News last week gathered information that some of the banks are asking clients with such account to hold their foreign currencies in e-wallets or current account, a move which some believe is a tactic to impose fees and diminish customers' forex gain as the city continues to fall in value. Clarifying the situation in an interview with Citi Business News, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Association of Banks, Johnny Wa, urged the banking public not to panic.
The banks have not taken any decision to discontinue deposits in foreign currency. We have information that one bank has reviewed its product offering and decided that they are not going to henceforth be operating savings accounts in foreign currency. And it was for a very important reason. They reviewed the product features and characteristics and observed a trend where they understood that people may be going to the black market, the forex bureaus, to exchange dollars and then come to dump it in the bank as foreign currency savings. And we do not want to be part of any kind of speculation on the currency. So the bank decided that product where you just come and deposit foreign currency in your foreign currency savings account, they will discontinue it. But you can have, if you have a business that runs with foreign currency, you can still continue undertaking that product or undertaking your business using the foreign current account, which is what is used for business transactions.
That was the Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks, Johnny Wa, speaking there. Now, momentum in the treasury market persists, with investors showing mild interest in T-bills during the latest money market auction. Investors submitted bids totaling 3.34 billion cedis, surpassing the 3.24 billion cedis target, according to auction results released by the Bank of Ghana. Here's more.
According to the figures from the Bank of Ghana, a chunk of the bids came in from the 91-day bill. Investors tendered in 2.5 billion cedis for the 3-month financial instrument, with the government accepting all. The government also received and accepted total bids worth 651 million cedis from investors for the 182-day bill. For the 364-day bill, the government accepted all the bids tendered worth 182 million cedis. In all, the total amount sold at this auction exceeded the auction target by 3% as interest rates continue to tumble on the money market, averaging between 21 and 23%. Meanwhile, analysts believe that the weighted average rate for the week indicates competitive bidding and investor confidence in government securities.
That was a Business Desk report. Moving on, in the latest IMD World Competitiveness Ranking for 2024, Ghana has been ranked 65th out of the 67 economies measured, highlighting the nation's ongoing economic challenges. Despite a notable potential, Ghana's position underscores significant areas for improvement in its economic landscape. The following report has more.
This is the first time Ghana has been featured on the IMD World Competitiveness Ranking. The report ranks countries based on 4 main factors, including economic performance, government efficiency, business efficiency, and infrastructure. In the economic performance factor, which includes sub-factors such as domestic economy and international trade, Ghana ranks 65th out of 67 countries with a score of 24.53. On the government efficiency factor, the country ranked 57th with a score of 29.82 out of 67 countries. For business efficiency, Ghana placed 56th with a score of 27.92. The infrastructure factor saw Ghana place 65th with a score of 6.42. In 2024, challenges identified for Ghana included unsustainable government debt, which saw the local currency depreciating against major international currencies, rising inflation rates that increased the cost of living and strained household income, heavy reliance on imported products, and the absence of productivity indicators affecting the growth of locally manufactured products. Other challenges included high energy sector costs, greatly impeding the economy's competitiveness, and a lack of decent job opportunities resulting in rising youth unemployment rates. Ghana's ranking is a call to action for policymakers to address these economic challenges and leverage the nation's strength to climb higher on future competitiveness rankings.
That was a Newsdesk report. Moving on, a planned demonstration by the business groups in protest of the implementation of the 5% excise tax on all locally manufactured plastic products has been suspended. The group has also cancelled their plans to shut down production. The proposed protest, which was scheduled for July 10, was called off after talks with the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Michael Otrebefi. Here are excerpts of a statement from the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association. The Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association and its partners, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, the National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, the Plastic Sellers Association of Ghana wishes to inform the manufacturing sector, the general business community and the general public that we have held a fruitful discussion with the government on Friday, 5th of July 2024 on the issue of the implementation of 5% excise tax on all locally manufactured products. The Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Michael Otrebefi, has shown good faith and has assured that he will facilitate further engagement and dialogue with the government and also immediately trigger the necessary mechanisms and procedures to stop the implementation of the 5% excise tax. We have called off our intended demonstration that was scheduled for the 10th of July 2024. We have put on hold our intended plan to shut down productions. Those were excerpts of a statement from the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association announcing the suspension of their planned protest. Now, the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, in accordance with Section 28 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, is likely to present the mid-year budget review on 24 July instead of the initially announced 12 July. The Majority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre had earlier hinted that the review may be presented this Friday. However, Citi Business News understands that this rescheduling is to provide Cabinet with ample time for a full briefing before submitting the review to Parliament. Away from that, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Toyota Ghana Limited, Koji Yanaka, has called on the government to fulfill its part in the implementation of the Ghana Automotive Development Policy, including the ban on imported cars aged 10 years or older. Kojo Yakanaka suggests that this will help players in the automotive industry reap the benefits of their investment. He made a comment on the sideline with the media during the launch of the new Toyota Vitz, Toyota Urban Cruiser and Toyota Land Cruiser 250 Prado models as the latest additions to the Toyota vehicles on the market.
Where we stand as of today, there are many things that are pending, and our only desire is that the government to fulfill and complete the auto policy as soon as possible, since we have, we brands the main players, or we have invested millions of dollars already for the local assembly. And we under the belief that this local assembly will help develop the local industry. So that is our only wish. First of all, the control, the regulation, implementation of the regulation on the used cars, especially the ban of over 10 years. Also, homologation system, which is supposed to ban the grey import as well, is not in implementation.
Koji Yanaka is Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Toyota Ghana Limited. Meanwhile, Head of Sales Operations at Toyota Ghana Limited, Andrew Lamte, has been providing insight into why customers should purchase the 3 new models from the automotive giant.
The Vitz is a well-known model on our markets. It's the Urban Explorer. It's versatile. It can go to all the nook and crannies of this city and across the nation. So you are looking at fuel efficiency. You are looking at something that can carry a lot of luggage. And of course, you're also looking at comfortability. Now, the Urban Cruiser, yes, it cruises the urban roads on our country, on our city. Basically, it comes as a very versatile vehicle, very good ground clearance, considering the nature of our roads. And of course, when you're also cruising on a third road, it's the best for the country. Then we have introduced the all-new Land Cruiser 250 Prado. This is one of the game changers for the CV, the commercial vehicle market. Of course, it's been long in coming, but the wait was really worthwhile. And therefore, we expect that this will serve the needs of our customers very well.
Andrew Lamte is the Head of Sales Operations at Toyota Ghana Limited. Now, on the forex market today, the dollar could be sold to you at 15 cedis 70 pesos. The British pound could be sold to you at 19 cedis 50 pesos. The euro is going for 16 cedis 70 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and Access Bank. My name is Nashi Kasiza. Do have a great business day.
Beautiful people.
Time. 7:14. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Coming up next is Kickoff, the latest from the world of sport. All that The City Business News was brought to us by Access Bank. Access Bank has introduced the new banking or agency banking service called Access Closer. They've brought banking right to your neighborhood. Look out for an Access Closer agent in that neighborhood store, mobile money outlet, supermarket, barbering shop, or pharmacy near you. Call 0302 742 696 to register as an agent today, or you can visit Access or Ghana.accessbankplc.com for more details. Access Bank, more than banking. And the City Business News was also brought to us by MTN. If you need to make an urgent call but you just realize you don't have enough airtime, don't worry. Dial star 506 hash and get to borrow credit on MTN Extra Time. The conversations don't need to end. Borrow extra time now and enjoy the things you love on your favorite network. Coming up next is Kickoff, the latest from the world of sport. Bernard Abekowachi is here, and Kickoff is proudly brought to us by Lecheho. And they're saying that the Lecheho fixed deposit solution is what you need if you want to power up your finances and unlock your path to prosperity. Don't settle for average returns. Join the investment revolution with our fixed deposit solution and take charge of your financial future. Call 027 00 40799 or send a WhatsApp message to 027 00 40733 to learn more. Invest wisely, invest with Lecheho. Lecheho, let's improve life. All right, let's get into Kickoff. Bernard Abekowachi is here with the latest.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
The European Championship semi-final after last Saturday's 2-1 last 8 win over Turkey. More from the Euros a bit later, plus in Formula 1.
He is about to head for victory as he comes into the final corners here at Silverstone. The crowds are going crazy. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix. He takes his 9th win at Silverstone, his first win in nearly 1,000 days in Formula 1, his 104th victory ever. Absolutely brilliant.
Get in there, Lewis!
And it was a first win for Lewis Hamilton since 2021 in the British Grand Prix after a long fight with Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. There's more, plus some tennis right here on Kickoff. Welcome aboard. I am Bernard Abekowachi. Well, we start with swimming today, and the big event is this weekend at the Boteman Sports Complex. Now, President of the Ghana Swimming Association, Delphina Kwe, says hosting the second edition of the Channel 1 Swimming National Championship at the Boteman Sports Complex is ideal for young swimmers and enhances their preparation for international competitions. The versatile facility previously hosted most of the sports events during the 13th African Games and also hosted the Meet of Champions organized by the Ghana Swimming Association a few weeks ago.
Boteman is a certified world-class pool facility. The pool itself, we have the 25-meter warm-up pool, we have the 50-meter competition pool. When you have these two pools together, before swimmers go into the water for their main event, they need to warm up. After they finish swimming, they need to warm down. It helps them in their competition. Boteman is the only facility we have that have both the warm-up pool and the competition pool. And the competition pool is not just a competition pool, but it's a world-class certified competition pool. So for us, having it there, we think it helps the kids to also experience what they will get when they go out there to compete with in other countries. It makes them more comfortable. It takes away, like you said, the fear. They become comfortable. They know the water. They know the pool. So it becomes easier for them to compete with confidence in that kind of environment.
Ofina Kwe is the president of the Ghana Swimming Association. Kelvin Kumenyao is the head coach of the Monarch Swimming Academy, also shared his thoughts on the facility hosting the two-day event.
Oh, it's a good place. I mean, it's the best. It's the best place to host competition in terms of swimming. It's the best because it's so comfortable, and also as we are in the rainy season, it's an indoor pool, so we don't have to be worried about the weather or anything. So honestly, it's the best place to have this competition. We're all praying to have that place because when this thing starts going, and let's say it start raining, we have to pause and come back the next day. It's really going to distract the swimmers.
Well, away from there, speaking of sports infrastructure, and John Mahama, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, has been vocal about his commitment to developing sport infrastructure in the country. Addressing the media last night, Mahama emphasized the need to improve facilities for track and field events and to address the deterioration of football pitches. He also advocated for giving lesser-known sport equitable attention to ensure a more inclusive sport development strategy across Ghana.
Sports, if you go to many countries, sports plays a very good part in the 24-hour economy. And so you find games being played at night under floodlights and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, here in many places, we have to close the match before the sun goes down. Otherwise, there's not enough light to continue the match because we can't even keep the floodlights on. And so I do think that as part of the 24-hour economy, sports can play a very good part, and we'll invest in sports facilities and help the people engaged, the private sector engaged in sports facilities to be able to provide, service at night so that our people can enjoy that service. During the working day, people go to work and things. In the evening, they want to go witness a football match or go witness an athletics meet. And we don't have exactly the facilities to sustain that. And so it's something that we will think about.
John Mahama is the flag bearer for the National Democratic Congress. Too, some women's football and the Black Queens have left Accra for Tokyo for their international friendly against Japan on Saturday, July 13. The Black Queens have been training in Accra for the 4 days in readiness for the much anticipated friendly. Ghana will face the former world champions at the Kanazawa Gogokiri Stadium on Saturday as part of their build-up to the Olympic Games in Paris, France. Yes, what Nora Hopto had to say on facing Japan.
Japan, yeah, of course we observed them well. They are the world champions from 2011. I think they have a fantastic education in Japan, good academies. They play a possession football like we like it also in Ghana. It's very structured, very organized in the defense. So it's really, for me, it's one of the top 5 teams in the world. It will be not easy. So for us, I think it's a good challenge to raise and develop our defense. So we worked already a lot on this. And of course, we need to ensure that on certain moments we also have the possession, that we not only run behind the ball, but it will prove us on another level defense-wise, and I think we will learn a lot in this game in terms of, okay, this is working on this level, we are good in this, and then there are maybe 2-3 things we also need to improve.
Nora will use the game to assess her players for future competitions, including the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations, which will be played in Morocco. To Europe now, and Bayern Munich have signed winger Michael Olise from Crystal Palace for about 60 million euros, that's some 50 million pounds. The 22-year-old English-born France under-21 forward made 90 appearances in all competitions over 3 seasons with Palace. Olise, who joined the Eagles from Reading for £80 million in July 2021, has signed a 5-year deal. In the Euros, we have our final 4 of the tournament: England, Netherlands, France and Spain. Spain will take on France later tomorrow at Allianz Arena at 7 p.m. The other semi-final will be between England and Netherlands on Wednesday at the Signal Iduna Park at 7 p.m. Yes, England's boss Gareth Southgate feeling good after all the criticisms his team have faced in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, every now and then you think surely there has to be some enjoyment in this job. So if I can't enjoy that moment, then yeah, the whole thing's a waste of time, really. So I love the players. I love being in that moment with them. I took this job to try and improve English football, not the seniors when I first joined the Football Association. And I wanted us to regain credibility on a world stage. So I can't deny that, when it's as personal as it's been the last few weeks, on a human level, that's quite difficult. But we're fighting. We're not going to stop fighting. And as I said, we're in another semi-final and we'll see where we can get to.
Gareth Southgate is England's boss in the Copa America. Argentina will take on Canada in the first semis, and Uruguay are up against Colombia in tennis. Emma Raducanu is out of Wimbledon after being hampered by injury in the deciding sets of her fourth round match against New Zealand qualifier Lulu Song. The British wildcard 21 lost 6-2, 5-7, 6-2 in a dramatic contest on centre court. So Coco Gauff also became the latest high-profile seed to suffer a shock exit in a women's single as she lost to fellow American Emma Navarro. Elsewhere, Croatia Dona Vekic progressed to the last 8 by overcoming Spaniard Paulo Badosa in 3 sets. For the men's singles, was Carlos Alcaraz, who was again made to sweat on centre court before booking a quarterfinal spot with a 6-3, 6-4, 1-6, 7-5 win over 16th seed Ugo Humbert. Elsewhere in the men's singles, world number 5 Daniil Medvedev advanced through the last 8 after 10th seed Grigor Dimitrov was forced to retire with a leg injury while trailing 5-3 in the first set. To wrap up with some Formula 1, and Lewis Hamilton triumphed in a thrilling British Grand Prix to claim a record 9th victory at Silverstone and end a run of 56 races without a win. The 7-time world champion had not won a race since the 2021 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Here's Lewis Hamilton.
I think that might be the most emotional ending to a race that I think I've probably ever had. I really wasn't expecting it great race, but when I came across the line, the last 7 laps felt so long, and I could see the guys behind me, and I saw Max starting to catch, and when I came across the line, I was just in such disbelief because it'd been such a long time.
That's the very latest in the world of sports. We are back with more at 5 p.m. on Sports Flash. Meanwhile, head to citysportsonline.com for more sports stories. Thanks to Shell, Lecheho, and Zonda. I am Bernard Baker. Watch your sports is live. Get involved.
Services, innovative financial solutions. We deliver on our promise, cause we are number 1. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, come to let's go. No matter your situation, let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, let's go, let's go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's go, we improve your life.
Different cars take different journeys. The strong ones build big cities that people thrive in. The agile ones take us to work there, so we can make a little chop chop. The dependable ones are always present in times of trouble. We salute what you do for Mother Ghana. The traditional ones keep society running. And then there are the flashy ones that keep our roads interesting. Oga, we salute you.
No matter your vehicle, every car loves Shell fuels because our most advanced fuels with Dynaflex technology are designed to prevent deposit buildup and keep your engine clean and protected. Fill up and give your car the love it needs for better journeys. Go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Auntie can cook.
Dado.
Dedo, what is spices? Dedo, who be dear Philly? Dedo,
me being the dynamic ground, but Dedo spices here what Jenny say. Then good taste. If we say yeah the natural spices and yeah you're gonna hey yo. I mean you want all-purpose, stewed, noodles, curry and nutmeg and a jollof. Dedo spices, taste yummy, taste lemon. Dedo spices, taste day inside.
With the recent increase in electricity tariffs and fuel prices, power, although unreliable, has become expensive, and owning a noisy generator becomes a headache rather than luxury. For an affordable and durable electricity solution, you need to go solar with Translight. Feel the independence, experience the comfort, and be productive. Translight Solar. Wherever there is sunlight, there is Translight. Think solar. Think Translight. Locate us at 98 Boundary Road, East Legon, in between ARS and the American House at the White House bus stop. Visit our website at translightsolar.com. Call us on 0504-249-229 or 0206-542-454 or reach us through email info@translightsolar.com.
Hey, we see you specking your car, taking that trip, chilling on the beach. Charlie, now we want to see this become your story. Simply use your ABSA card 10 times or more and you'll be entered into a monthly draw where you stand a chance to be among 5 lucky winners to take home 40,000 Ghana cedis. The more you use your card, the more entries you'll receive. Earn an extra entry by using the ABSA app or internet banking 5 times or more. No ABSA card? Don't worry. Visit the nearest branch for an ABSA account or card today and make winning part of your story. Promotion is between 1st July and 31st October. This promotion is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
Say donut, 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 donut. Donut, 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 donut. Donut, donut. Yeah, donut, donut, donut. Malaria, super donut. Everybody follow not sa malaria. A treating till donut now. Won't talk malaria chill. Popo. What do you do? I want the donut. A dabako. Donut. A damienu. Donut. A damiensa. Donut. No. Donut scatter malaria. Lonat ide scatter malaria.
A quality product from Blaze GVS Pharma. Yenshishemu hu se malaria wa umojam ansana wanum Lonat. Na nam yensearch na malaria no daso wo ho a ko hu dokota.
This advert is FDA approved.
My name is Lumbalai. I'm the CEO of Lumba. I got to hear of the You Start Ghana Job and Skills program through GEA platform on Facebook. And I applied. Luckily for me, I was selected. We went through a couple of training from basic, intermediate, and advanced. By God's grace, I was able to secure the grant. And I used the grant for expansion. I acquired few machines. And I was able to employ 3 people in addition of my 2 workers already. So now I have employed 5 people. To the government of Ghana, Ghana Enterprise Agency, World Bank, we say a very big thank you.
GE, transforming MSMEs, empowering people.
Looking for a home in the
sweet home.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Things we need to look at is where is the first cohort of BC writers? What are they doing now? The first WASI was written in 1993. Where is that first batch? If there's anybody listening who's part of that batch? Second question, have we as a products of the new educational system justified the transition from A-O level to BC WASI? I ask this because the old system was exclusive. In the old system, you could do Form 1 to... In fact, to get into O-level, you needed to write a common entrance. So already, there were people who couldn't get in because they would have to do middle school and things, and some went to technical school. Then when you do O-level, Form 5, you had to then be among the best of the best to do A-level. So A-level was not for everybody. So in fact, most people would just have O-levels. And O-level was considered okay. And then A-level was for the highly intelligent, all right, because A-level was like university level,
advanced.
Yes. So, is there any who? Okay, maybe let me rephrase the question. Who are some of the most influential products of the BC system in Ghana today, and does their impact justify the transition? Because I think largely Ghana has been run by people who wrote the O and A levels, all right. Because if somebody wrote BC in 1990, it means the person was probably 14 years old in 1990. So if you add 34 to 14, that's
44,
48.
45. Okay.
48.
34.
So,
yes,
so
14, yeah.
the point is that most people who went through the JSS system are still below 50. Still age below 50. Right? And most of the people who wrote the A-level system are above 50.
Yeah.
So generally when you see someone who's above 50, he possibly did A-level. Of course, with the exception of a few people here. I won't mention their names. In line with that, let me wish a few people good morning, and then
I wrote my BC 22 years ago.
I wrote mine 29 years ago. So I was so my group 95 was the 5th cohort of BEC. So which means we had only four years of Pasco to work with. You had many years of Pasco to work with. You wrote BEC in 96.
Yeah,
96. Yeah. Ghana was a different country. So let me wish a few people happy birthday and wish some people good luck in the BEC. And then I want to frame the discussion properly. We'll also reflect on some of the things former President Mahama said in terms of the Q&A. Those of you who listened, did the media ask the right questions? Did you like the answers he gave? What do you make of the event? And do you think the current vice president should also do the same thing, the flag of the MPP? Right. So did we ask him the right? Did we grill him enough? Did he do well in his answers? And do you think Dr. Bawumia should do a similar event?
Let me just use the opportunity to say belated happy birthday to one of our leading investigative journalists, Anas Arimeyao Anas of Tiger Eye PI, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. Yeah. You are a great addition to the cause of making Ghana a better place, regardless of the criticisms you face. You're doing your best to make Ghana a better place, and we celebrate you for all your contributions to our growth as a country.
You know what's funny? He celebrates his birthday with Kuku Baku
Junior. Oh yeah, who turned 70 yesterday. Yeah.
It's funny how the two of them work together and share the same birthday.
Yeah.
So Abdul Malik Kweku Baku.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Now a few birthday requests coming through. A glorious birthday to you, Adoma Opoku Boache of Madonna School, Kofredia. As you celebrate your 15th birthday today, it's my prayer that God grants you a retentive memory as you start your BEC today from your mother, Joyce Ado, and the entire family. Happy birthday to my daughter, Jael Kwanzaa of Mary Mother of Good Counsel School. As she writes her BC today, she turns 15. This is from my mate Papa Paeko Kwanzaa.
Oh, I see.
Wow. So we wrote BC together.
Your mate has a daughter who is...
My mate has a daughter who's writing BC today.
Hey, Charlie.
It's such a powerful thing.
We can get a view.
Yeah, so Paco is a great guy. I think, where is he working? I don't know where he's working now. UK Trade something. He was at EcoBank in the past.
Beautiful.
So Paco, your son, your daughter is 15.
Yeah.
29 years ago,
14 or 15.
we wrote, and the day we wrote BC, it rained.
Yeah.
I remember it rained. I walked from Firestone to Atomic Johnson.
Which of the papers?
English
brother.
And then I took a car to Achimota School.
Allah.
Because University Primary right at Achimota School. So it rained that day, left very early, got to the school, wrote. Everything was fine. One of my mates had chicken pox. So he was sitting at the back.
Slow. Yeah.
Happy birthday to Mrs. Jennifer Asari and happy 26th to Tony Asari, incoming president of the Ghana Institute of Architects. Happy birthday to my nephew Kweku Asari from Kwesi Asari. To the president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Chief Executive Officer of Association Consultants Limited, Chief Resident Engineer on the Ofankon project. Hey, Engineer Bimpong, today is your birthday. Engineer Bimpong, use your birthday to open the road today. Okay, use the birthday to open the road today. No traffic. So Engineer Bimpong, happy birthday to you. You know, a lot of these guys do a lot of difficult work managing this project. So Engineer Bimpong, enjoy the birthday from Philip Nilate and the City. I call them the City Roads team.
Yeah, happy birthday to him.
The City Roads team includes Philip Nilate, Kalepuda, Jude Duncan. You know, they are part of the road squad. They cover roads. And good morning to Jude Duncan and Eno Safo, who premiered Sunday Breakfast Daily. It was a joy to watch. It was a joy to watch that morning. Jude Duncan of Accra Academy and Eno Safo.
Academy in Chelsea
and Church of Pentecost.
Oh really?
Yeah, so those are the three.
It doesn't look like someone who goes to Church of Pentecost.
Duncan has three issues.
What do you know?
One of them is very good. That's Church of Pentecost.
Oh really?
One of them is 50-50. That's Accra.
I see.
One of them is very bad. That's Chelsea.
I know what you are going
to do. So his Church of Pentecost leanings are good. His Accra is 50-50.
Well,
as for his Chelsea leanings, I don't understand. Belated birthday to Winnie Halm Waja, Executive Officer at Deloitte Ghana. and to Samola Awuzi and Janice Ado Benson of the Audit and Assurance Department, and Salome Atigla of the People and Purpose Department, all of Deloitte, from your country managing partner Daniel Kojo Usu, and all staff. On your special day, we want to wish you all the happiness, success, and love in the world. God is not done with you. Happy birthday, Dorcas Na Ache Koni of Bahamus Limited and the CEO of Agido Events from Albi Christian and Jacob. One of the best products of the BEC system I know is Kofi Dazi. Kofi Dazi used to run Rancard Solutions. I think he's a member of the MTN board.
Really?
Yeah, Kofi Dazi is very deep.
He did the
yeah.
Wow.
When you listen to Kofi Dazi talk, you think he's you think he's older than he is. It's not that old. It's one of the products of the SS system.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And then there's also,
as in the BEC system.
Yes, there's also John and Henry Amoesi.
Wow.
So when I was in university primary school, the smartest guy who wrote the first BEC was Henry Amoesi. He was a shark. Then his brother John Amoesi was a guy interviewed during the, you remember the COVID time?
Yes.
There was a guy,
Yes.
the Kumasi version of Whack Bip, that thing.
Yes, I remember.
Kumasi, that guy.
I remember.
Solid guy. He also is also a product of the. So BC, we are not bad. Half of politicians, we produce a few.
A lot, actually.
But we haven't. I keep saying we haven't yet produced a BC Speaker of Parliament.
Yeah,
we have a BC. Wait, did Apenya Markin write BC? Yes. So we have. It's funny, yeah. The majority leader wrote BC. In 1994, the minority leader, he wrote O-level in 1994. So even though they are around the same age, I think the minority leader went through the old system and the majority leader went to the new system. So I can say he is possibly the highest ranking political official of the BC system, because the president didn't write BC, the vice president didn't write BC, the speaker didn't write BC, the CJ didn't write BC. The attorney general is A-level. Godfrey Dami is A-level.
Really?
Yeah, I think Godfrey Dami is A-level. Could you go let me know? You are publicist.
While you do that.
No, but it's an interesting question.
Yeah, it is.
So the highest ranking product, because Sky, that system was supposed to cure. They said the old system was not inclusive. That this system had more psychomotor skills. We could sew. We could use a hacksaw. We could cut. We could do carpentry and pottery. You know, so I don't know. And don't forget, Osama is saying education system is not fit for purpose. And I can say now that we have more Ghanaians who did BEC than Ghanaians who did A-level. Because the population of people below age 48 is more than those above 48. So we are a majority BEC country. So did we go or did we come? So if you want to stretch Osama Mafu's argument that the educational system is not translating into the way the society ought to be, is that a judgment on the BEC SS system? Because the majority, you can say majority of those in authority are the A-level system. So if you go to Parliament, I can say, actually no.
It's not easy like that.
Parliament is more difficult to check.
You have to actually look at
you have to check. But if you look at leadership, you see, if you take leadership of Parliament, let's take it one by one. Minority leader, A-level. Deputy minority leader is who? A-level, Kofi Bua. Minority chief whip, Agboja is A-level.
The way you are speaking with
I know. Who is the deputy chief whip?
For who?
NDC. Comfort Doyo
Ganser.
She's obviously A-level or something before.
No, there's Ahmed before Doyo Ganser.
Ahmed
from what's this, the constance?
Banda.
The Bono for region, Banda.
Ahmed, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
MPP, Apenya Markin is obviously SS. His deputy is Cecilia. No, Comfort something at PJ.
Yeah, Patricia PJ.
This is A-level. A-level. Then you take Anadompre. Anadompre is A-level. Okay, Anadompre, I'm not sure. No, Anadompre is A-level. You know why Anadompre is A-level?
Why?
Because when I was in the university in my first year, he was the SLC president of UCC.
He's 46 years old. So you need to be very sure about. He's 46 years old.
Is Anadompre A-level? I'm not sure.
I'm trying to check from
because he was after Amin Andam. his UCC. So I'm suspecting it was A level. It was A level. Brian Achampong is A level. Look at the ministers of Akufo-Addo. Even this Akufo-Addo government who have newer ministers. If you take it one by one, Amin is finance minister, is A level. Brian Achampong is agri minister, A level. Henry Korte is A level, interior minister. Defense minister is A level. What's his name? Dominic Nitiwo. Kojo Opon-Nkrumah is SS. Information minister is SS.
Gender minister would be SS.
Gender minister,
most likely.
Yes, I think she is. Or the old system through whatever.
Maybe.
Which other minister is there in this government?
Kitty Hammond.
Kitty Hammond. Is there something before A-level? You want to decide to call it. So he's a pure A-level guy. A-level man, Charlie. All right. And I'm not doing this flippantly because today is BC Day.
Yeah.
If Osafo Mafu is saying our educational system has not produced the right people, maybe with the SS system as well. All right. So who else is significant in this government? The Attorney General, is he A-level?
The Attorney General, again, he's a very young guy.
But they are young. The A-level people are not that old though, because the last group was 96. So when I was in SS1, that was the last A-level batch.
Are we looking for the ministers who are doing well?
We just want to know those who are A-level and those who are SS.
I think the chief of staff is also very significant.
Chief of staff is more like A-level. A-level in chains. Chief of staff is A-level.
So he Cape Coast Minister. So he was in a Disadel from 1989 to 1996.
1989. A-level. So from 1 to upper 6. So it's the last batch. So it's Brian Achampong's mate.
Okay.
Last batch of A-level. 1989 to 1996.
1996.
Yes. So in some places, the ministers do standard 7.
Oh, this guy.
No, that's standard 7. It's a proper thing. But I know you can do standard 7, and if you get a credit, you can do O level. So from standard 7, you can. Charlie, the old system was wild though. Some do middle school, and then when you get to standard 7, you can then convert to O's as a mature student, and you can move from O's to A's.
So which one was that? What did you get?
Oh, it's confused me.
No, do you know middle school? You don't know middle school, eh? Charlie.
My mother went to middle school. Yeah.
Standard 7. Those days, standard 7 was correct. When you do standard 7, you can work. You can work as a clerk. Yeah. You can be recruited. It's the population that has not helped us. So standard 7 was concool. I can see some of the standard 7 people, they form past the BC people self. I'm telling you, standard 7, they be solid. I know people from standard 7 who went straight into government service, and they did very well. Yeah, standard 7, and they went to secretarial school snaps. Maybe what? Some even became ministers. With standard 7, you'll be there. Right, so let me pay a few bills, and then my main topic is discussing the Mahama event from 8 o'clock, so there are 3 questions for the listeners and the public. Did you like the questions? Did you like the answers? Do you think Bawumia should do the same thing? Those are the 3 questions. Which was the best questions you heard asked of a candidate? Did the media do a good job in the way we interacted with the former president? Did he do a good job in the way he answered? Do you believe his answers? And number 3, do you think that this is the format that the others should also adopt because it gives a better way of scrutinizing our leaders? All right, Nathan, tell me why I should change my story.
Well, you need to change your story. It's very, very, very important. Whether you are speccing your old car, making over your home, or getting a relaxing beach getaway, Absa Bank is here to help you do that. Now, use your Absa card 10 times or more in a month, and you could be a lucky winner of the Absa Change Your Story promo and extra entries by using our digital channels 5 times or more. Now, 5 lucky winners at the end of October will take away 40,000 cedis each every month to change their story. Your story matters. Absa, T's and C's apply. It's 7:54. You are wondering what you are taking for breakfast. Let me recommend Twisco. Twisco is coming from the producers of Cowbell and is a chocolate fruit drink with a blend of premium cocoa powder enriched with Enefort, which is a combination of energy boosting minerals and vitamins. Twisco is in your neighborhood store and it's selling for 1 cedi 80 pesos. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream. And this ad that is FDA approved. Now, you are thinking of supercharging the future of your kids. Let them join Nyansapon Institute STEM Bootcamp and unlock a world of opportunities. Dive into the world of AI, 3D design, coding, and more skills that top employers are now craving. They will be tutored by Michelle Amwakun, a mechanical engineer specialized in systems and software engineering. Now, the bootcamp is happening between the 12th and 31st of August. You can call 053-711-7334. Nyansapon Institute, where coding, engineering, and design meet opportunity.
Now, if you're dreaming of Dubai, make it a reality with Global Wings Travel and Tours. Join us for a 6-day all-inclusive tour from 5th to 11th August or 15th to 21st September 2024. Experience the best of Dubai, from its iconic landmarks to luxurious accommodations. This incredible package includes return air tickets, 6 nights hotels, daily breakfast, dinner, Dubai visa, travel insurance, Dubai city tour, Burj Khalifa 124th floor, aquarium and underwater zoo, desert safari with dinner, marina cruise with dinner, IMG world tour, airport transfers, all taxes, tourism fees, everything inclusive. Let's make your Dubai dream come true with Global Wings Travel and Tours. Book us now by calling or WhatsApping us on 0553 688 398 or 0550 188 181. Now here's the question. Is Dumso back? Are you paying too much for electricity? Is your business crumbling because of the high cost of unreliable power and constant increase in electricity tariffs? Get a world-class tried and tested solar solution from Ghana's #1 solar company, Translight Solar Limited, at very, very affordable prices. Call us on 0504 249 229 or 0206 542 454 or visit us at www.translightsolar.com. For early bird deals, reach us via email at orhinr@translightsolar.com. Wherever there is sunlight, there is Translight.
All right. Now, a few corrections to make, and then we move on. And by the way, the other question for the BEC people. So, again, this is to wish all our BEC candidates good luck as they write the exam. Who is our highest ranking BEC product in the judiciary? We don't have a CJ who's BEC yet. Our AG is an A-level graduate. He's the youngest, but he's an A-level graduate. Although he finished in 96, so he has made 2 railroad BEC. Do we have a BEC Supreme Court judge? I doubt it. Do you have a BEC Court of Appeal? I doubt it. Because they are all the oldest BEC candidate. Again, I'm using my age as an example. I wrote BEC in 1995 when I was 14 years old. So you can assume that if somebody was 14 years old in 1990, it means that they were born in 1976. Do you get it? That's the average of 75, 76. So is there a BEC product on the bench? If somebody's in the Court of Appeal, let me know.
Most likely.
Who's the highest BEC person in the medical field? Now our Minister for Health is obviously a BEC candidate. Do you have a BEC Vice Chancellor? Somebody who went through... because I remember one Vice Chancellor was announced as the first PhD who went through Legon to do a full PhD in Legon or something. Because prior to that, a lot of the VCs had studied abroad. Right. But this, I think, Professor Abba, I don't know where she did a PhD. Some PhD was announced. So do we have a BC product who is a Vice Chancellor of a university? Or who is the... Of course, because ministerial appointments are not necessarily based on length of years of work, you can have a minister who is a BEC product. Yeah. But when it comes to things like a justice of a court or the head of a civil service institution or positions that require time, you get it? So there are some positions that require appointment because they know you. And then also elections like MP, youthfulness is an advantage. But when it comes to, say, in a profession like accounting, you know, I know quite a lot of BEC products who are partners at big 4 firms and that type of thing, in law firms and things. But, you know, so let me make a correction. So actually, Sky, you were right. Anodompre is a BEC SS candidate. So Frank Anodompre was in Bishop Herman in 1995. So he did 93 to 95. Okay. So he wrote BEC probably in 92. He's now the majority chief whip. Attorney General as I said, he went to A level. Other ministers who did SSS. So you have Abu Jinapo. Even though his brother, I think, is A level. I think his brother is older, right?
Yeah, he's older.
So I think Abu Jinapo is SSS. Sami Oku is SSS. Another correction, Fankano Mpre was the NUC's president. Not the SRC president, NUC's president. Yeah. Let me do a quick 2 rounds before Nathan comes in.
Okay.
Adjoachu Messi listening to me in Pokwasi says it's her birthday and her wedding anniversary. It's a milestone and she is grateful to God. So Adjoachu Messi, happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary. And then our firstborn Randy Adoboy, a proud be here, can celebrate his birthday today. And we ask God's grace and blessings with good health and wellness of life at Benso Oil Palm Company. From Frank Kerr, Messi Adoboy of Oyibi. Yes, Kai.
Yeah, so this one is coming in from Senanu, Timothy, and Sedem. And they are wishing Selassie Jikunu a happy birthday. They say that on this special day, I want to celebrate you and all the wonderful moments we've shared. Thank you for being the incredible person you are, for your unwavering support, and for making our journey together so magical. Here's to many more birthdays, cherished memories, and a lifetime of happiness together. I love you more than words can express. Happy birthday, my darling Mamaga Selassie. And Mamaga Selassie is an ardent listener of this show, Citi FM generally, and she attends many of our fairs to even sell in some cases. So Selassie Jikunu, happy birthday to you.
Selassie is a great friend of ours. It's 8:01. Tech and social media trends is next. Is brought to us by.
It's brought to you by Telecel. Now you have everything you want and need: quick and reliable communications, stress-free money transactions via Telecel Cash. Connect with Telecel and enjoy a world of endless possibilities. Because with Telecel, there is no limit to connections. Telecel, connecting energies. Now, the biggest dream starts small. This long vacation, enroll your children on wards on the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program. This is happening from the 15th July to September this year. It enables them to gain valuable work experience. All you need is to sign up your children on Word for the Kids First account. It's designed for children up to the age of 12, or for the Me First account made for teenagers aged 13 to 17. Make an initial deposit of 300 cedis in the account and apply for the First Bank Junior Internship Program. Your child on Word will also experience an exciting 5-day internship at any of our branches, get to participate in an essay writing competition, and win an attractive cash prize if his or her essays are judged. So to find out more, visit First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program. Call 0596-921-921 or email us at firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. First Bank Ghana, you first.
All right, so Nathan will tell us what's been trending this past 24 hours.
All right, let's get into the trends. And hashtag Mahama Conversations is in the trend. Last night's event at the Kempinski Hotel is very heavy on social. People are talking a lot about that. Now, the trend that goes with this is Baumia, for very obvious reasons. People are saying that, okay, John Mahama's thrown down the gauntlet. What have you got to say now?
Bring it on.
Dr. Baumia. So that is also trending. BC is trending today. But junior high school students are writing their final exam. They are trying to open the first door to the next level. So people are talking about BC. I wish them the very, very, very best. On the sporting side of things, NS Niyama is trending. Now, over the weekend, Leon announced that he had joined them on a permanent. Now, when he went to Lyon first, it was actually a loan from another club. You know, he went from North Island to another club, and then they got him on loan. But now Lyon has officially made that move a permanent one. He signed until 2028. So staying with the politics, Kofi Bentel is also trending. He's been in the news for some very interesting opinions and thoughts on Dr. Baumia and all of that. To some tech news very quickly. Now, remember last week I spoke about AI going to be used to resurrect voices of dead actors, Judy Garland and co. Now, what is happening in the movie space is that now they are using AI to make actors look younger. Case in point, for those who have seen the most recent Indiana Jones movie, Harrison Ford looked far younger than he was, and they used AI to do that. And it looks like it's catching on in the movies. For example, Tom Hanks' next movie called Hair, okay, it's going to employ that technology. So those who see the movie will see that Tom Hanks looks very, very, very young in that movie, together with his co-star. And people are wondering why that is happening. Now, some people say it is quite unsettling that in the long term, actual actors might be replaced by their AI lookalikes or twins and all of that. But some people say, look, that's where we are. So they've got to make use of that. So several movies, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and a few others have used AI to make actors look younger and all of that. So that's the conversation in the movie space, AI and how they are making people look younger and fresher and all of that.
Going up? Yes, after you. No, you first. No, please, I insist. You first. I wouldn't dare, my friend. You first. Beauty before brains, my friend. You first. The honor would be mine. You first.
Oh, my word. And I hear they were there the whole day. Our employees take our You First philosophy to a whole new level. Get used to a bank that believes in putting you first. FBN Bank is now First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana. You first.
I send them, you get them. I get them, I send them. I get them, I pay them. I get them, I take them. You get them, I send them. I send them, you get them. I get them. I buy them, I take them. I pay them, I send them.
Telecel Cash. Experience the ultimate convenience of sending money on Telecel Cash. Sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash is free. You can also make payments to merchants on all networks. Enjoy best value and total security with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD Plus. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117. And on HD Plus, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD Plus boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change. Get ready for the splash of a lifetime. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship is here. On the 13th and the 14th of July, witness the ultimate test of tenacity and endurance, where teamwork and camaraderie meet the thrill of competition. Join us at the world-class Bortainment Sports Complex at 9 a.m. Be part of the excitement as swimmers from across the nation compete for glory. Powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with 97.3 Citi FM and the Ghana Swimming Association. Don't miss out on the action. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship, where champions are made. See you there. The date is the 13th and the 14th of July 2024. The venue is the Bortainment Sports Complex and the time is 9 a.m. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship is powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with 97.3 Citi FM and the Ghana Swimming Association, and is proudly sponsored by Spring Consult and Piva Beverages. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship. Dive into greatness.
The Breakfast Show, we're talking a number of things. Let me do a quick interview with John Kapi, who is the PRO of WAEC. So, the basic education certificate examination commences today. 569,095 candidates will begin. It's a 5-day exam. It ends on Friday, and we have just put up the PRO of the service or the council to tell us more about the exam. Good morning, Mr. Kapi. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. So 569,095. Will this be the highest number ever to write the BEC at a sitting?
No, last year we had 200,900.
Okay. So any reason why the number came down?
I think there was a rush last year. A lot of people felt that was the last time BEC was going to be written. So we had a lot of people rushing in to write the exam. That's our suspicion. We don't have, real evidence to support that.
It also appears some private schools have opted not to join. I don't know whether that information has come to you, because I'm sure you know some of the candidates are from private schools, but some can choose to do other systems. Could that be the reason why the number has come down?
Well, I'm told that a number of people have decided to do the Cambridge system rather than write the BEC. So that's also a possibility. Yeah, we are aware of that as well.
Wonderful. But by the way, the exam has it come to stay? Are there plans of changing its format in the next few years, or is it going to remain the same?
Well, with examinations, there's always a possibility of changing the format, changing so many things depending on the manpower needs of the country. If, for example, we are looking at having a few more practical tests or having a few more forms of the test, why not? Yes, it's possible that these things can change.
I see. But what are the basic rules around this one? Every time we hear, they say no cheating. So basically, what? No foreign material in the room. Just remind parents of some of the things they need to let the awards know as the exam starts.
Right. So we have appealed to everybody: candidates, parents, guardians, invigilators, and supervisors. Basically, what we are saying is that we don't expect candidates to come to examination hall with mobile phones. They should not come to examination hall with any foreign material. They should do independent work, not solicit support from anybody within or outside the examination hall. No smart watches, no form of electronic communication gadgets. So these are things that we are asking them not to bring along. Supervisors and invigilators are also barred from going into the halls with their mobile phones, just so that we can have some sanity.
A few days ago, we heard there were issues around amounts that government had to pay for the exam to take place. The exam started today. Does that mean that all the monies owed you by government has been paid?
Well, not all monies have been paid. We've received about 55.873 million cedis from the government, and that is enough for us to conduct the exam. But as we speak, plans are far advanced for them to release the rest of the money to us, to be able to, conclude the process.
Wonderful. So today they do English and RMA. What else?
RME, yes.
RME. What are the subjects for the rest of the week? Do you know?
So they would have social studies, they have career, technology, they have computing, they have mathematics, they have science. And then come Monday next week, they have Arabic.
As a core or as an elective?
As an elective, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Kapi. Let me leave you to go back to your work. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
He is the PRO of WAEC. So good luck to all our candidates. A little over 500,000 candidates, right? But candidates should say that I think the number reduction from 600k to 500k is because some private schools have opted out because I know some private schools that were not happy with their candidates' results and they felt that the marking was too tough. I don't know whatever. They sort of felt that there was some conspiracy against private schools of some kind, and there are people who say that somehow the government's push that towards private schools is not fair. So some of them have decided to stop the Ghanaian curriculum. So a lot of middle class families who have kids in some of these private schools, they are doing either Cambridge, they call it Pearson, Edexcel. So a lot of them are not doing the Ghana system, and that's troubling. But anyway, 500,000 is a lot. So
yes, but I think you remember that some time ago the private schools were fighting this notion. In fact, there was a trend where people would take their wards to the private schools and make them register in the public basic school because they felt that the system was favoring those in the public basic schools, and some of the proprietors had challenges with this. And the minister's posture at the time was that if you are coming from if you are from a private school, no, this was for the SHS, that if you thought that you were good enough, they are bringing you students from the basic schools, public basic schools, to transform them, that kind of thing.
So there's a narrative around basic, public, and private, which some people think fits into. Anyway, just to wrap up on this subject, so Sky, I was asking about professionals within the SSS area. Somebody sent me a list. Dr. Hadi Abdullah is a neurosurgeon. He's an SS
Kolebu.
I think it's a
solid guy.
The neurosurgery side. Dr. Francis Odai, orthopedic surgeon, also SSS. Dr. Nicholas Apeko, also SSS. Dr. Umar Ibrahim, surgeon with cardio, is also SSS. Hajara, commissioner with NCCE, is SSS product. Dr. Titus Bayu. So this person is talking about people from a particular side, who's an executive of the Ghana Medical Association.
Okay.
He's also an SSS graduate. Professor Kweku Mensah is the Vice Chancellor elect of UPSA. He's an SSS product.
Wow.
Mahuto. Kweku Mensah.
He will be the first.
Wow.
First SSS VC.
Well, I mean, unless we interrogate the figures
of a proper university.
Charlie.
Let me change.
I'm told Valley View, VC is a VC product.
Okay, they should mention his name.
And that's also another proper.
No, it's a proper university. Yeah. It's a proper university. So
they are always somewhere.
Yeah. All right. So so let's read a few comments before we move to the next subject.
Dear Bernard and team, I am engineer Alex Huku Tio. I wrote BEC in 1995. In fact, I was the first person to get aggregate 6 in the whole of my constituency now. Ayensuano district. I am paying tribute to my school, Kota Presby JSS, and all the teachers then and now. I am currently a fine engineer in one of the state institutions.
Oh, so beautiful.
Kota Presby JSS. Yeah. Mr. David Eninakwa was the Chief Executive Officer for Cocoa Board and GNTC, and he was a Form 4 leaver, middle school leaving certificate holder. This is from Bob Lee.
Middle school, they are strong and they grow solid. Middle school, but they grow up. By the time they come and join,
no, they're mature. Oh my God. The 2002 BEC group is the most interesting of all. Ask Obodai, the 2002 group must be monitored. From Jake in East Legon.
I don't know. We wrote the BEC with only 4 years of Pasco. 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94. The rest all we have to imagine. Right in 2002, you have almost 20 years of Pasco.
Yeah, I wrote in 2001.
Plenty Pasco.
Well, the highest court a BEC candidate would most likely sit as a judge would be in the high court. A chunk would be in the lower court. Okay. Right. I wrote SSC with the majority leader in Augusco 1997. Okay. Bernard, we are growing.
We are growing.
We are growing.
We grow already.
I wrote BEC in 1996 at Suesco.
That's
okay.
Nice, mate.
PSC. One of the candidates of Suesco is Psycho.
No. You are not
one
really
of the candidates of Swiss.
See, he said he wrote the BC 96 at Suesco.
Yeah.
One of the candidates of Swiss. So I suspect Swiss was like his basic school.
Yeah.
Then he says psychomotor skills. No, I remember the song Children of the Land.
Gather
courage. JSS has come to save.
Gather courage. JSS come to save you.
Okay.
Only handle the tools we get, and the psychomotor skills shall flow.
There are groovies in the booty.
Don't be afraid. JSS came to save us. JSS. But were you singing that song?
Yeah, I remember it.
It didn't get to inside the country.
Your village.
I remember it very faintly.
Oh, you don't remember?
I remember
Only
it
handle
faintly,
the
yeah.
tools with care. And the psychomotor skills shall flow. But those things are good though. This is the children don't know any song about anything. You know, the song was what was motivating us.
You know, the Rollings those years, they were using songs to permeate.
People were afraid of the BC.
Yeah.
So they were moving to A level.
Yeah.
And they said, children of the land, don't be afraid. Jesus has come to save you. Harry Sawyer. Only handle the tools with care. And the psychomotor skills with
but
flow.
these days, the tools are no longer even there. But honestly, I mean, those things were really useful. I mean, technical drawing, carpentry, masonry in some cases.
Yeah.
I mean, those things, we would have created a true.
I built a joint.
Yes.
I don't know what the name of it's a dovetail joint.
Okay.
For my project, I built a dovetail joint. I used a chisel to cut it, and I used a plane. In the
because
I couldn't do a chair, but I did a joint.
The biggest thing happening in many parts of the world is do it yourself.
See that?
Yes.
DIY.
You should be able to fix a plumbing
No, but
problem.
now 3D printing has come.
AI.
So now we don't do psychomotor again.
But you see, when your car has a problem,
yes,
you understand. You don't have to necessarily call a mechanic to come and fix the tire for you. If you believe the carburetor has a problem, you ideally.
But why does a car have to have a carburetor in today's 2024?
Oh no,
carburetor car is 1995.
People can. That's what some people can afford. You can afford a new.
They stop manufacturing carburetor.
But that doesn't mean that
they don't do carburetor
again.
They don't do carburetor again.
Go to Kaneshi right now. Somebody has removed the hose and is blowing up.
Blowing petrol.
Yeah, blowing it.
Terrible habits. Terrible habits.
He said, "Here's the car for me."
All right, let's fly with Global Wings, Nathan.
Yes, this September, Global Wings and Travel and Tours, they are taking all of us to Malaysia and Singapore. We are going to see amazing places there. It's happening between the 9th and 18th of September. Call 0553 688 398 or 0550 188 181 or follow them on social at Global Wings Travel GH. Pack your bags and let Global Wings whisk you away on the journey of a lifetime. The new order of retirement is here. You can retire now on your own terms with a guaranteed monthly income for the rest of your life. All you need to do is invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual retirement salary plan today and start receiving monthly income to enjoy the perfect retirement. Call Old Mutual today on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com.gh to find out more, or dial *789*01# to request a call back. Abrabo pa or Obra pa ahonton kwa. Old Mutual do great things every day.
All right.
Now, if you are thinking about getting a 4x4, VW is excited to tell you that the 40K promo campaign is here. Now, for every T-Cross Up compact crossover SUV you buy, you save 40,000 cedis. And for every Amarok pickup you buy, you save 40,000 cedis. Take advantage now. Hurry while stocks are there. T's and C's apply. You can call 025-795-6688 to find out more.
Now experience an unforgettable summer escape with your Zenith Visa card. Spend a minimum of 3,000 Ghana cedis in at least 5 transactions and win an all-expense paid trip to the Olympic Games in Paris. Make this summer extraordinary with your Zenith Visa card. Use your Zenith Visa card for all your payments and enjoy the Olympic Games in Paris. For more details, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Now, speccing that old car or a home makeover or relaxing beach getaways on your mind, I know. Now, use your APSA card 10 times or more in a month and you could be a lucky winner in the APSA Change Your Story promotion and extra entries by using your digital channels 5 times or more. From now until the end of October, 5 lucky winners will take away 40,000 Ghana cedis each every month to change their stories. For more information, please visit an APSA branch today. This promotion is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Your story matters, APSA.
We'll bring you 5 of the questions. I want to say 5 of the best questions, but it's very subjective. Yes, 5 of the questions that I thought were quite good on the Mahama interaction. So I'm going to bring those 5 questions. So this has been edited question and answer. So question and answer, yes. So there's a question about free SHS, what he would do with it. There was a question about the judiciary and the whole packing of the courts, NDC views about the courts thing. There was a question about the National Cathedral with Mario Sanda. Mario Sanda's question was funny. He says, would you say there's a big hole behind where we are? Would you cover it? Would you complete it? Or would you convert it? That was a goodness. Then there was a question about Kenya and what's happening there and how he sees the Ghana situation. Samson also asked an interesting question around the prosecution of Bakafoma and all those things. And then I asked the question about local government, because my local government people were saying, Charlie, the local government, we are not seeing any question about. I know you had a question on district assemblies, but somehow the big ticket items were economy, politics, corruption. But I managed to smuggle a local governance question, cost cutting question in there. So let me just do two things before I bring you those voices. Heritage Christian College is calling, providing a missing link in tertiary education through creativity and innovation. Now, listen to this. Since 2018, we've given over 450,000 cedis as startup grants to a number of students to start their businesses. There's huge emphasis on entrepreneurship, technology, and practical learning with professional certification. Undergraduate programs include BAs in psychology, accounting and finance, logistics and supply chain management. Other courses include Bachelor of Community Development and Theology, and then Business Information Technology. We also have master's programs. We are at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. I didn't know a stadium at Amasaman.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
A proper stadium?
Yeah, well, we actually, as a nation, intended to build a state-of-the-art.
So do they used to play football there?
Yeah, people go and do all kinds of things there, but it's not fully...
So we are behind the stadium. Call 054 7777731 or go to hcuc.edu.gh for more information.
Bernard, so Ashfom is your one-stop shop for all your home soft furnishings. We are introducing a wide range of new collections of products to suit your homes, hotels, and your organizations. Ashfom's bed linens combine a unique variety of soft and supple thread counts and treated fabrics to provide you with superior comfort during your sleep. So turn your bedroom into a romantic retreat. Invest in the best choices of beds and mattresses, pillows, bed linings, mattress toppers, mattress protectors, duvets, curtains, towels, and a wide range of fluffy bedroom accessories. Call us on 0243 200 729 or 0244 642481 or visit any of our showrooms. There is free delivery to your doorstep as well, but be mindful of internet fraudsters. Be an Ashfoamer now. Ashfoam, feel it, know it. And GCB Bank PLC wishes to inform you that from the 8th of July 2024, our Kisiaman branch will be relocating from the La Paz Community Hospital annex to Lab Heights, adjacent the Hisense store on the Dom Pillar 2 Road. Kindly note that there will be no interruption to our services at the branch as a result of this relocation. For more details, please call us on 059 691 5938. GCB, your bank for life.
So, Bernard, this one is an interesting text. It says, hello, good morning, Mr. Bernard, Coco Evelyn, Citi Breakfast Show team. Please, I'm 51.
Okay.
And I wrote O-level and A-level in 1991 and 1993, respectively. Please, A-level, the paper is red, don't you?
So generally, people who are 50 and above are A-level.
A-level.
People who are 50 and below are SS, generally.
I see.
Although there are exceptions.
Okay.
A few more names come in. Vincent Esifuwa, Deputy Local Government Minister, BC.
Dr. Etchery, one Dr.
All the best to BC candidates of Royal Priesthood Academy and Masaman. Okay, all right. These are birthday requests. Now let's go to the questions. Let me start. Which one should I start with?
Have they cut them into pieces?
Yeah, which one should I start with?
Okay. I think let's start with the question regarding the
judges.
No, well, that's topical now.
Or SSS?
Yeah, I think free SHS.
Free SHS. Yes. Okay. This question was asked by a lady called Nimatu. Nimatu. She asked a question about free SHS. Yes.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Your Excellency, please, I would like to find out from you what's your position on free SHS. Given that, and also what is your thoughts on the proposal to pass the free SHS bill, given that the majority has hinted the bill will be coming to Parliament?
I support any bill that will improve our education. One, to make it sustainable. Two, to afford quality education for our children. And so any bill that would achieve this is something that I'll support. I haven't seen the bill, and I don't think that it has been subjected yet to stakeholder consultation. But we would want to see the bill, and I'm sure that when Cabinet has approved it, it will be laid in Parliament. And when it's laid in Parliament, as a parliamentarian, the normal action is to refer it to the committee responsible. And I'm hoping that when that bill is referred to the committee responsible, it will do the proper stakeholder consultation so that we all can be on board. Because if you're making fundamental changes to our educational system, I think that parents, teachers, and everybody who has a stake in education must be involved. I don't know, we are just hearing rumors, and as long as we haven't seen the bill, you cannot say if they are authentic or not, but I think some of the things I've heard is to fuse the JHS and the SHS together. That is a very fundamental move. And so if you're going to do that, what will the impact be? What do teachers say? What do parents say? What do students say? What do all the stakeholders in the industry say? There are rumors that BEC will be cancelled, and so it's just rumors we've heard. Until we see the bill itself, we cannot make any determination. But like I said, I will support any bill that goes to improve quality and sustainability of our free SHS. Thank you.
But Your Excellency, she also wanted to know what your position on free SHS is.
My position on free SHS?
Aside the bill, yes.
My position on free SHS is known. In 2015, I launched progressive free SHS. That's what the Constitution says. The only difference between us and MPP is the approach. We thought that we should put the infrastructure in place and we should do the necessary preparation to absorb the free SHS. And so we started with day students. We made it free for day students. And in the second year, we absorbed 120,000 students on the free SHS. Nanado himself lauded me. It's there in the media. Just, if I had my phone here, I would Google it. They say Nanado lauds Mahamas free SHS. It's there. UNESCO, congratulated us for launching the free SHS. How can a person who launched free SHS be against free SHS? And so it's a political gimmick that is played by our opponents. Free SHS has come to stay. And nobody can roll it back. All we're saying is, let's improve the implementation. Let's take away the bottlenecks. Let's work to abolish the fast track. Let's be able to feed the children better by decentralizing the school feeding, the free SHS school feeding program. So those are all the kinds of initiatives we're thinking about. But we can only take that decision if we come together as stakeholders and discuss freely the challenges that it faces. Today, there is not the environment for a free discussion of free SHS. Ask any teacher or headmaster. If they make comments adverse to the conditions and implementation of free SHS, they are either sacked or they are transferred to Siberia. And so we must change that. We must free them to be able to come up and talk about it and discuss free SHS and how we can improve it. My commitment is to improve it. And so that political gimmick, if he comes, he will cancel free SHS. And I've seen some Osofutu going around and repeating the same thing. I don't know if he's, I don't know who he is, but he's also gone around repeating that same tired, hackneyed, political propaganda. I am committed to free SHS. I was the one who launched free SHS in this country, and free SHS has come to stay.
All right, so that was the first. Which one should I go to next?
So, well, first of all, I mean, we can make a few comments on it. I think it was a very fantastic, response to the question, for many reasons. Because first of all, recently you will notice that the majority has decided to play up the free SHS thing and sort of pin the minority to the argument they make that they do not want to continue with free SHS and that they are opposed to the bill. Apparently, that flowed from a suggestion from the spokesperson for the minority on education, Honorable Kotwe, if my memory serves me correctly, that there were issues with introducing the bill, because some people take the view that the Constitution itself says that there shall be progressive free education. And to that extent, the argument is that then we don't need free SHS bill in Parliament. But the opposite argument is that, well, yes, there are many things the Constitution says we should do, but then we use legislation by Parliament to add flesh to what the Constitution says we should do without derogating from what the constitutional position is. So that is where we should look at it. So by stating clearly what he intends to do with free senior high school education, I think it settles the debate.
It settles a lot of the uncertainty around it.
And one thing that he said, which is not in the answer, is that he says he would use dedicated funding to address funding free senior high school education.
That was good.
Very, very good, because,
sustainability has been a big
issue. And Bernard, you remember that when Nanado, then candidate, appeared on the Hard Talk program and he was pinned down on the question of how he intended to fund it. He said he was not going to tell the people of Britain. He was coming back home to tell us how he was going to do it. Subsequently, we heard about oil resources being used for it and all of that. But as we speak, all kinds of funding sources are being used to pay for this thing. What did not come up in yesterday's interaction was whether he would review it in the sense of making sure that the poorest of the poor benefit and people who can afford pay for it. That's an issue perhaps during an interview session.
We can come here. Let's come to the question on the judiciary. Sewa Emire asked the question. It was obviously one of the questions we were thinking of asking. So, she asked it, and she used the angle of when he was speaking in 2016 to some NDC lawyers. But I think there was a big question about how the NDC feels about the judiciary. So here's the question and here's the answer.
Mr. President, at a gathering of NDC lawyers somewhere in September last year, you urged them to aspire to become judges so that you can appoint them to bring a balance to the judiciary, which you have termed as an NPP-inclined judges. I want to know if you still stand by this position, and if by this you mean that if you become president, you will appoint NDC sympathetic judges or promote them to become judges even at the Supreme Court.
I believe that our Constitution gives the judiciary certain privileges. They are the only arm of government that does not renew its mandates. They don't go for elections to be re-elected as judges, and they're given security of tenure. I think that the obligation and responsibility of every president is to appoint fair-minded people. Human beings, as we are, would have our own inclinations towards one party or towards one religion or towards one culture or other. There are many things that make us who we are. But the obligation on when you become a judge is to look at the cold, hard facts and rule based on that. Some of the pushback that we're seeing currently is the penchant by this president to pack the courts. And only recently, you've seen what happened. And I can't understand why the Chief Justice will be the one recommending, which judges to appoint. The Constitution is clear. That is the president who appoints judges in consultation with the advice of the council. And so the initiative to appoint judges must come from the president and submitted to the Judicial Council. It brings it back with advice to the president, and the president forwards it to Parliament. That is the procedure. It is very rare that this time the recommendation comes from the Chief Justice to the president. And even the issue of capping the number of judges. The Constitutional Review Committee recommended that we cap Supreme Court judges at 15. And so the issue of capping the Supreme Court is not for the Chief Justice to say. We will resurrect the constitutional review process when I become president. And when we do that, we will put it to the Ghanaian people whether we should retain the 15, whether we should reduce it, or whether we should increase it. And so I think that should be the Chief Justice saying that we should increase and cap at 15. And even when she says and cap at 20, and even when she says cap at 20, she has already recommended the 5 that will cap the 20.
Thank you.
And even bring it to 21. Because if you add that 5, it will go to 21. And so I think that we must, as much as possible, have the discretion. The president of this country has a lot of discretionary powers. But that discretionary power must be exercised with responsibility. and make sure that when you are appointing people onto the judiciary, which has security of tenure until they reach 65 or 70 or whatever age is recommended, you cannot remove them unless for state reason. And so in appointing people to such powerful positions where they are the arbiter of whatever happens in this country, we must make sure that we use a criteria of fair-minded people who can put their prejudices aside and be able to judge fairly, because they are the last resort when disputes occur.
All right, so that was Sarah Mihire's question and the answer given. As I said, that question, a lot of people wanted to ask it, but she asked it very early. And so, what did you make of that interaction?
I thought he used the opportunity to address related issues without actually addressing the crux of the question, respectfully. So the journalist wanted to know whether he still stood by an earlier statement he had made that he would appoint NDC buyers lawyers onto the bench.
No, he was encouraging them to
basically
take positions
so that they will be appointed.
They will be eligible for appointment.
Exactly. So, the question required of him to stand by an earlier position and then offer the related explanation if there was one. But with the greatest respect to him, it does seem to me that he sort of went into very recent matters surrounding the judiciary, attempted briefly to deal with the issue of bias, but then played into what is the more current issue. So he, in my respectful view, did not do justice to the question.
Do you think it was deliberate that he didn't want to answer? Or that, don't forget, the guy, Sami Jemfi, was also thanking him before he finished the answer. So maybe they didn't want him to finish. Because it's a potential minefield.
Yes, it is.
And so I'm not entirely sure if it's an omission or a deliberate decision to just generally deal with the judiciary issues. And because of the recency of this matter, even though he didn't say explicitly that he stands by or does not stand by, it's sort of people listen to feel like he's still spoken about the judiciary extensively, because in people's minds this recent issue is a big issue. So the I don't know. That's why, okay, of course, the difference between an interview and this format is that you don't get a quick follow-up. So maybe if somebody was sitting and say, okay, by the way, that's fair, but do you still stand by
your earlier position?
Then he will deal with it. So that's why I think we need other formats to engage these people.
Exactly.
Interviews will be useful then.
Let me just also quickly add. The Chief Justice's letter is recommending 20 as the floor, not the ceiling.
Is it?
Yes. If you read all the documents put together, what you get out of the letter is that they want 20 as the floor plus the Chief Justice, so that various panels can be put together at the same time. Possibly they can sit together at the same time in different courtrooms deciding
cases, because of the caseload. Interesting.
The challenge really is whether the Chief Justice ought to have initiated the process of recommending to the President justices who should be considered for appointment. Traditionally, the President looks at the people who qualify. Sometimes they ask the Judicial Council to bring a list of people they believe are qualified, and then the President will consider, look at the names, then forward it to the Judicial Council. They will look at it, sit on it, and then they make their recommendations. When the recommendation is made, the President looks at it and refers it to the Council of State for their advice. And when that returns, then the President then makes a decision as to who he is taking. And then he will forward that to Parliament for their consideration.
Different from the convention. But does it make it illegal?
Not necessarily, because if you look at the language of Article 144 of the Constitution, the position is stated by the Constitution as follows. 1 says, the Chief Justice shall be appointed by the President acting in consultation with the Council of State and with the approval of Parliament, which is not relevant in our current discussion. 2 is the relevant one. The other Supreme Court justices shall be appointed by the President acting on the advice of the Judicial Council in consultation with the Council of State and with the approval of Parliament.
I get it.
Now, so merely because the Chief Justice has made a recommendation does not without more suggest that the president will not refer the same to the Judicial Council for their consideration. Of course, if the Judicial Council sits on the matter and makes a recommendation, the president considers it and refers the same to the Council of State. If that is done and the report is generated to the president, he considers it and then now makes nominations to the parliament for their consideration, then the constitutional architecture would have been, covered roundly. But I think the challenge is people think that if the Chief Justice is the person now recommending people who should be considered, then at the council meeting, she's likely to, if you like, influence what the Judicial Council would do. That is the challenge of people. I see some legitimate argument there, but without more, I do not think it invalidates the constitutional provision.
Let's move to the question asked by Samson Ladi Ayenini. I think he even made a statement before he asked the question.
Yep.
He said that the president, former president, if he wins, should, to be fair, he asked the question, would he continue with the prosecution of the Bakavamawat matter, and then he also asked a question about Kenya.
Answer.
Yes. I also think all the questions around current court cases and prosecutions, the answers were very short.
Proper.
For reasons we all know. Let's go to the Samson question.
You kept repeating reset, reset, reset. I believe it must be a very important word to you. In Kenya today, there is a reset, and the citizens are forcing it. 47 corporations, SOEs, are being dissolved. 50% of the president's advisors are losing their jobs. My question to you is, 8 people were killed in elections in 2020. We are 4 years down the line. Those lives must matter. Over 200 people in Ashaiman were brutalized by the army, and I wrote about it as state-sponsored terrorism against them. 180 of them were arrested by the military, manhandled and released without anything. As we speak, nothing has happened. What have you done as the opposition leader about these things?
Thank you.
What will you do about these situations?
With regards to what is happening in Kenya, I don't think that we have to wait for the backlash of what the youth did in Kenya for us to do the things that we have to do. And that's why I started talking. I said, look, the time has come for us to act, and that it can't be business as usual. The Kenyan youth have sent a signal to the whole of Africa that they will push back if the leaders don't do the right thing. And so definitely I'm signaling that it will not be business as usual in our new administration. We'll cut out waste, we'll cut out opulence, we'll bring a code of conduct for public sector, public appointees, especially political appointees, in how they behave, in terms of their modesty, in terms of their humility. Your appointment to that office is an opportunity to serve. It's not an opportunity to lord it over the people. And so our political appointees and public office holders must change their attitudes. And so that is what we're going to insist on, that people that we appoint are modest people, they are humble, they will open up to the people, and they'll do the things that will make the lives of our young people better. And so we're going to hold them to a higher criteria of service than people have been held to in the past. And that's why I say, if you agree to serve, you must serve and not have other side businesses and do other things. You must not go and buy state property. Anybody serving in my government will not be allowed to buy a state asset. Nobody serving in my government will buy a state asset. Vehicles or cars or buildings or land or anything, nobody serving in our government will be allowed to buy a state asset. With regards to the deaths, I have the same opinion as you. 8 of our citizens died for no reason, and our president has not even extended any recognition of what had happened. and no attempt has been made to investigate. I have said in several places that we'll investigate what happened and find out those culpable for those deaths. And aside from that, we'll compensate the families adequately on the loss of their loved ones. And it's not only the deaths during the election. You mentioned there are shaman brutalities. It shouldn't have happened. I mean, a soldier was killed, very unfortunate, by a group of armed robbers. And because of that, a whole community was subject to brutalization. I don't think things like that, should happen in the 21st century. And so I put out a statement when it happened, condoling with the victims, and also asking the military to exercise patience. I believe that the military work in a very difficult environment. They are responsible for our safety and security. But at the same time, they should recognize that the money the taxpayers pay that put them in that uniform and give them those instruments are to protect the citizens and are not supposed to be used to brutalize the citizens. And so we need to see how we deal with that. Fiber cuts.
So that was an answer to the Samson question about the reset. Well, I was given a chance to ask the question in the last round of questioning. So I didn't even know you were there. So you were also there.
Oh yeah, nah, I was behind.
You were wearing a mask.
Oh yeah.
So they thought you were working for national security.
Oh no, but anybody who knows me will know that.
No, the shape of your head is changing. The shape of your head is changing.
Oh no.
When you wear the coolie high.
Yes, you know it's my thing.
The coolie high, we know it's you.
No, Babena, you know me for how many years now? 20 years?
Many years.
So, coolie high is my thing, isn't it?
So, Nathan had wanted to ask a question on... What did you want to ask him?
So, effectively, I wanted to find out what President Mohammed's plan would be in terms of appointing, or in terms of local government. So, as things stand now, the president appoints MCEs and DCs. So, I wanted to find out what would be his criteria for appointing people to run our local government spaces. In line with that, then I would have asked what was his take on the voting for MMDCs. Of course, the context being that the NDC and MPP couldn't really come to an agreement on their proposals. So what was going to be his own take on it? Would he lean towards it? Would he... You get what I...
That would have been a good question. Because I think mine was the only local government question.
Yeah.
So it was. I think even though I'm hosting the show, I'm going to play my own question.
I think there are two pending questions that were forgotten: the sports question and then the Umaru Sanda question on OSP. So my question is, you said that you can work with 60 ministers, which is interesting. The number of DCs has increased from 110 to 261. And it appears when districts are created, the EC also increases the constituency. So now we have 275. Those are also arms of government that are expensive. Now, while this is happening, the AMA had 9 districts created out of it in 2018 to 2019. So we are increasing districts. We are creating new districts even in AMA, but AMA has only 3 sub-metros. So the ability to raise revenue is also lower. So it's a 2-in-1 question. Are we going to stop at 261 districts, 275 constituencies, cutting costs? And within that same question, the issue of AMA becoming only 3 sub-metros, they can't raise enough revenue. So it's difficult to manage the city. You've spoken about building a new capital. Does that mean Accra is a lost cause?
Increasing districts, that is part of the expenditure government has to bear. Bernard, unfortunately, it is provided for in the Constitution, and unfortunately, it has been misused by governments. A lot of the time, the motivation for splitting districts is to create additional constituencies. And so you find that districts have been split and become unviable because they are too small and do not have economic opportunity to be able to be viable as a district. There are many districts today whose only source of income is District Assembly's Common Fund. And so unfortunately, that is what has happened. I remember when I was a deputy minister, the districts were under 100, about 90 districts or 70 districts or something like that. Today we have 261. And there's no scientific basis for the division except gerrymandering. Because there are districts that are bigger that should have been divided, that are not divided. But districts that are smaller that should have been left as they are have been split and created into smaller districts, because then the party that wins in that district can have 2 constituencies instead of 1. So that is the case. Several districts that existed, constituencies that existed, have been converted into districts. So in looking at the review of the Constitution, we must set some more stringent guidelines for the creation of districts. You know that now every traditional area wants a district. And so we're getting to the stage where every paramount chief wants his traditional area to be a district. Because I go around and traditional paramount chiefs are requesting districts for their traditional areas. That's not what it was meant to be. But if you look in the Constitution, the creation of regions is specified, and you must go through a process that requires consensus building. Unfortunately, it's not the same with districts. With regions, you must have a commission of inquiry, and the commission of inquiry must recommend, and when it has recommended, it must go for a referendum. 40% of the people in that region must vote, and 75% of them must say yes. And so if we do the constitutional review, we probably must look at making more stringent the creation of more districts. Because if we say it's just based on population and land size, where are we going to stop? Ghana today is 33 million people. It is predicted that by 2050 or 2030 something, we'll be 50 million people. And so if you say population is the driver, then by the time we are 50 million people, we'll have 600 districts. And so that is a major issue, and I agree with you that we should look at that. But I think that there are more opportunities for improving funding to districts. And one of the things that has been forgotten is the issue of property rates. If we collect property rates properly, we can raise money to improve social services in the districts. And so even though AMA has been split up into other districts, I mean, just look at the houses in Accra. Just look at the properties in Accra. Bernard, you think that if these properties rates are collected properly, the districts will not have enough money to do the drains and do the roads and do everything? So one of the things we're going to do is to support the districts and enhance their capacity to collect their property rates. Because District Assembly's Common Fund was introduced, property rates are not collected the way they should. My father died and left his house. One day I got a frantic call. Brad John, come. They've come to paste a notice that they're going to sell the house. So I go there and I look at the notice. It says, what do they call it? Distress something, and that if we haven't paid, and so we're supposed to be taken to court, you know. Meanwhile, I said, but where is the property rate bill? We hadn't received property rate bill for almost 5 years. And so they had put the address there of the place where we should go. So I went there and I said, oh, you want to sell my father's house? And I don't know, we haven't received any bills. And the man said, oh, your bills, which one is that? The Tesano, He said, the bills are here. You haven't come for your bills. Oh, I should come for my property rate bill. He says, your bills are here. Look, you haven't paid. Of course, I don't want them to sell my father's house. So I collected the bills and I wrote a check for them. And that ended the story. But I'm saying that we must support the assemblies to be able to give out the bills timeously and collect the money. And we must value those properties properly. I mean, some of those properties, if you charge 5,000 cedis a year, I mean, they'll be willing to pay because the value of the house is worth millions. And so that could be a new source of funding for district assemblies. Accra is getting difficult to manage because of its size and population. And so the city is spreading beyond its limits. It makes it difficult to continue to provide social services to the city. And so I propose that we look at establishing a new city so that we can move some of the agencies out of the city in order to reduce the pressure on Accra. Can you imagine if Nigeria had not built Abuja today? Lagos would have been in gridlock. You will not be able to even walk in Lagos because it would have been shut down. So I said we must start thinking about creating a new city and moving some of the agencies and departments out of the city. But of course, we must connect the two cities with good transportation networks so that people can go back and forth. And aside from that, it gives us an opportunity to plan that city better and ease the gridlock in Accra. It is not an immediate project. I said I envisage that it will take about 20 years to complete, but we must start somewhere. And that's why I said we'll start the feasibility and planning in the 4 years that I'm president. Other people will come and begin to implement. And we have the opportunity because the Volta Lake and the river are there. There will be access to clean water. We can make it a smart city where the services are provided. There will be no kiosk and containers littered all over the place. We'll provide markets so that if you want to go to the market, there's a properly organized market and everything. There are supermarkets, there are schools, there are parks for recreation and all that. We can even make it a tourist center. We can create amusement parks so that families can go there and have amusement. We can have a water park. We have no water park in this country where you can go with your family and have a nice time. And so I've envisaged that if we start towards it, we might not live to see the end of it for some of us, but our children and our children's children will benefit from the establishment of a new city like that.
It appears this was the longest answer on the night. Am I?
Yeah, I mean, the question and the answer put together was about nine and something minutes.
Although the longest question was the GGA president.
No, he read
his statement and then
no, he's a big man.
No,
president. Guy. But you are GGA president and you are meeting a former president. Won't you read the statement? I'm sure I was like, okay, now he said, thank you for the opportunity.
It's a press conference.
No, let me read. President versus president.
No. I love that guy.
I'll bet you for
this guy.
It's all Morgana.
As you read the statement, and he said, "Where's the question? The question is coming." No, it's a powerful question.
Yeah.
GJ president.
I know, right?
No, I'll bet you for.
I mean, he raises a very important decision. But we'll come to that.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll come to that. But Bernard, a quick comment. You see, if you look at the question that you asked and the repeated creation of new constituencies and districts, the question engages Article 47 and then also Article 241 of the Constitution. You see, what our Parliament, the Electoral Commission, our presidents have done traditionally is to take advantage of the provisions and use it to their advantage. As opposed to using what the language of the Constitution is. So let me deal with local districts of local government first before I go to the other one.
So it was a relevant question?
It was a relevant question.
Okay.
Now, Article 241 of the Constitution says, Clause 1 says, for the purposes of local government, Ghana shall be deemed to have been divided into the districts in existence immediately before the coming into force of this Constitution. Clause 2 says, Parliament may, by law, make provision for the redrawing of the boundaries of districts or for reconstituting the districts.
Okay.
And 3 says, subject to this Constitution, a district assembly shall be the highest political authority in the district and shall have deliberative, legislative, and executive powers. So Bernard, if you look at the language of clause 2, it says Parliament may, by law, make provision for the redrawing of the boundaries of the districts or for reconstituting the district. This does not mean that we should be creating new districts ad nauseum. All it means is that look at the hard numbers. Where are people moving to? Where are people coming from? Where are people densely populated? And looking at all the parameters established by the Constitution, is there a need to realign the boundaries? And when you are realigning the boundaries, it does not necessarily mean that you should increase the number of districts.
So they interpret it to mean we can create new districts.
Exactly. So that is what they do, and with the constitution, what they call the constituencies too. The same language is almost.
So that's the second question. Does the EC have to create a new constituency as soon as a new district is created? They don't have to.
Not necessarily. Look at but the difficulty comes when you have the argument that there's one constituency falling within two different regions, so then
two different districts.
So we need to do something about it. So look at Article 47 of the Constitution. It says Ghana says Ghana shall be divided into as many constituencies for the purpose of election of members of Parliament as the Electoral Commission may prescribe. And each constituency shall be represented by one member of Parliament. Clause 2. No constituency shall fall within more than one region.
Okay, that's number 1.
That's number 1. Now 3 says the boundaries of each constituency shall be such that the number of inhabitants in the constituency is as nearly as possible equal to the population quota. So that is one other requirement that is there. Population quota. 4 says, for the purposes of clause 3 of this article, the number of inhabitants of a constituency may be greater or less than the population quota in order to take account of means of communication, geographical features, density of population, and area and boundaries of the regions and other administrative or traditional areas. 5 says, the Electoral Commission shall review the division of Ghana into constituencies at intervals of not less than 7 years or within 12 months after the publication of the enumeration figure census, after the holding of a census of the population of Ghana, whichever is earlier, and may, as a result, alter the constituencies. The word is alter. It doesn't mean that you should increase the... All you need to do is, where appropriate, recreate the boundary. So if, for instance, let's say which constituency we live in, which of the constituencies? Klotekole. Which one is an adjoining constituency?
Klotekole is adjoined by Ablekuma. Ablekuma Central.
Ablekuma Central. So let's, for instance, you and I have observed that in this particular constituency, people have been moving out lately.
Yeah,
they are moving to other parts of the country. So if for some reason we have noticed as a country that people are depopulating this particular area, you may want to redraw the boundaries
to take that movement.
Exactly.
Not to create a new one.
Yeah, not to go to where they have moved to and then cut it into two
and create a new one. But the question was, though, I wanted to pin him. See, this is everything I wanted to find out. Number 1, you say you will reduce your ministers. That suggests that you know that cost of government is high. So you're going to reduce your ministers to 60. Now, government is not just ministers. Government is DCs. Government is MPs. All right. So if you are going to reduce your ministers to 60, but both NDC and MPP have increased our districts from 110 in 1990 to 261. Both of them are contributed, and both of them have increased our constituencies from 200 to 275. So the question was 2 in 1. Deal with the issue of would you commit to keeping the number 261? Because your local government minister that does it, and I'm sure the president will know.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right. So I didn't really get him say, under me, a local government minister will not be allowed. He was basically throwing back to Ghanaians that we should say we want to stop the increase based on constitutional change, instead of saying, look, under my presidency, I will tell my local government minister that we have had enough. Because there's also a bit of pressure from people. Then, of course, the issue around Accra as well. So the second aspect of the question was, we have all these. Accra has become so small. The AMAs become so small. Can they be effective? Of course, we comment on that. Let me end with Sanders' question.
Let me just quickly say that it is possible to bring the things back together.
You think so?
If you look at the language of the Constitution,
you can recreate.
Yeah, that's right. You can bring it back together, because that is why it talks about.
So, but who have the political will to say that Klotekole you will no longer Okankwe North, you will no longer be an assembly on your own. Come under AMA.
You and I know.
All these people who are now calling themselves assembly members and things.
The thing is not making sense. So what makes sense is what we do. Is it in the interest of the public to continue to pay all of these people? They are not efficient. The system is not working. Garbage is all over the place. Vehicles get spoiled on the road. They are there forever. And you look at property.
Or they will be converted to sub-metros again because they are not municipalities.
Yes.
It will be complicated. Politically very difficult to say, having created a municipality called Klote-Koli, collapse it and make Klote-Koli to become a sub-metro of AMA again.
Boutros Ghali once said that it is only a fool who doesn't change his mind.
I know.
If the thing is not working, it's not working.
Charlie?
Because as he said, there are districts in this country. The only thing they survive on is the District Assembly Common Fund.
It's true.
If it doesn't come,
no, I agree with you. I'm just saying that it's tougher to do than you say. Let's read some comments first on the WhatsApp platform and then some social media as well.
Yes.
Let's Nathan read for me.
Yes, Mystery One says, I really like the way JDM answered all the questions and the way he explained the 24-hour economy. Kindly inform Baumia and co that Ghanaians are waiting for them to answer some questions as well. This one says, it's from Eugene from Ho, says the options are very limited. The line between NDC and MPP is only a hairline. A tiny ball of tomato is selling for 10 cedis in July, and we want to maintain free SHS for what? Our politicians think that Ghanaians only want freebies. If I am a parent and I have a job with a decent pay and the cost of living and fees are low, why won't I pay fees? Why won't I pay my children's fees? He concludes, cancel free SHS along with other useless expenditure and put those resources into agriculture and agro-processing. Jonathan Ingawe says, the journalist asked relevant questions. Mr. John Dramani Mahama gave sincere and genuine answers. I don't think we need the vice president to meet journalists. He won't be sincere. This one says, the best question for me was from Rebecca on the entire Adasongo Lagoon given to one investor without a people-centered policy which increased poverty in the area. Utu Pareto from Adam. This one says, the clarity of thought, appreciation of the issues, practical solutions and excellent delivery by JM's Media. At JM's Media Encounter yesterday means some people learn on the job and gather experience. Others will come and tell you they are just a mate waiting for the steer before they learn. That's from Prekese Kwame, aristocrat.
Just a quick comment on that. Let's also note that former President Mahama, with the excellent delivery he gave us yesterday, would flow largely from the fact that he's a communicator, first of all, practiced as a communicator for so many years, PR person and journalist for that matter. He's still a member of the GJA. Became a member of Parliament in 1996. Now that exposes you to many things. A deputy minister for so many years, and then a minister of state, vice president of the republic, and president. All of these things have brought a lot of wisdom and knowledge together, and he leaned on that a lot in his answers. So it is
nobody was even telling him what to say. So he was just basically writing what he would say.
Yes.
And as you are saying, the institutional memory of having that. Look, even covering Parliament as a journalist, there's a lot you learn if you listen closely to issues. So if you are an active MP, a deputy minister, a vice president, you learn so much on the job. And some of it is not just theoretical knowledge.
It's very
so you learn practically a lot about things. So
what I loved was the recall, right? The way he could remember very critical details, sometimes to a T. But how he could remember, he's been out of office for 7 years, 7 months. Made references to the oil revenue in his time, tracked it to what we have now. It was an absolutely fantastic.
Let's end with some comments
on Twitter. Mahama has really said the man knows his work. He knows the problems, he has the solutions, and he gets the facts right. 2 hour 45 minutes engagement with the media with no discriminatory selection of media personnel. Very impressed. Theophilos Bechi sent that through. He has a lot of information, and even though some answers weren't as I wanted to hear them, he was cautious, at least with his promises to us. He has been there and he knows what he can do perfectly well. Overall, I was impressed and how he had the strength to go out that long really impressed me. Okay, just Nana Kwame said.
So all this is still Twitter?
Yes, Twitter still. He's on top of issues. His knowledge on current affairs is top notch. Nancy Brew sent that through. Let me bring you something from Facebook
as well.
Yeah, I will only rate him after Baumia has been subjected to the same scrutiny. We were quick to judge John Dramani Mahama, thinking Akufo-Addo Baumia administration was the messiah to save Ghana. So I'll wait. Lawson David says the guy seems to know his stuff well, and his articulation of the issues show depth. I was sleepy but couldn't stop listening. We need to have this kind of engagement so the citizenry can make informed choices. Joshua Mensah Ago says, I was really impressed with his answers to the questions put before him. He seems to know and have answers to the system. I'm convinced to give him another chance to be president. And George Esiama says, there is nothing new under the sun.
18 minutes past 9, Citi Breakfast Show. We will be talking to Oasis Capital Ghana. Their second $100 million fund closes for West African SMEs. Big money is coming. Sikanibu. We'll be talking to Matthew Buedu Ej shortly. Stay with us. And then
this is this.
Boss, take your time. And then later in the morning, we'll be speaking to the NPA as we get ready for another edition, the 6th edition of GIPCON. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you a farmer, a processor, an exporter, a Greek researcher, or a horticultural enthusiast? Are you in agribusiness? The Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters is inviting you to the maiden edition of the Ghana Horticultural Expo. Join us from the 9th to the 11th of July at the Dome of the Accra International Conference Center and meet over 100.
I have great news for you. Oasis Capital is here with a major announcement to make. Matthew Boedueje is my friend, CEO of Oasis Capital, is going to join us to talk about Oasis Capital Ghana. What kinds of companies they've been supporting over the years? Why is that kind of support important? And what is this new Oasis Africa Fund? Matthew, welcome. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Great. You are still the CEO of, the last time I checked, you are CEO of Oasis. It hasn't changed.
I am still.
How long have you been in that role?
I have a few years to go. I've been since 2009 when I left Grofin as a country director to set up Oasis Capital.
How has it been going?
So far, it's been interesting. It's been good. We have difficult times, but we have also high times. And I think it's our commitment and resolve to supporting small and medium size enterprises, because in our view, that's what drive the growth and development of every country.
So your company is a licensed growth capital fund manager.
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
What it means is that we raise capital, and that is private equity capital, and invest in businesses by reason of regulation in Ghana. People that operate in that are required to be licensed by Security and Exchange Commission. So we've been licensed as an investment advisor. But our ethos and focus has been supporting growth businesses. So the business can be in early stage, it can be at the growth stage, they can be in difficult stage, and we put in measures and structures to ensure that we sustain those businesses and help drive them to success and growth. And we had had very phenomenal success in some of them. We've also had challenges in some of them.
What are some of your flagships been? Tell me about the track record you have in SMEs, which are one or two you can talk about.
I can talk, for example, a classic example is Access Pension. Access Pension, we invested in at a very early stage where things were very difficult for them at that early stage, because at that time the pension regulation was not complete in terms of it had been, and they've been licensed, but they were waiting for the release of the TPFA, a temporary fund that took some time. So that brought them into liquidity position, and we supported them. Fast forward, some few years thereafter, we exited out of the business successfully with good return. Fast forward, they turned out to be in a position where they invested in our Oasis Africa Fund 1, and they've also invested in the Oasis Africa Fund 2. So it tells you a story that you invest in a business that turn around at some point to also build so much growth and success to be at that level. We can also speak about Legacy Girls, an early stage a startup business supported by 3 strong Ghanaian successful women and professionals. And they started this at a time where they had only 50 students, and we put in money, and in 5 years they were over 500 students with phenomenal growth, story, training, confident, brilliant Ghanaian women, most of whom I have no doubt may eventually become leaders of this country. And I think that is the satisfaction. I can also give you some experience that was not directly done by Oasis, but it's an investment that I made some years back under the same sector, where we invested in a school in Kumasiko ICS, and today they are in Accra with over 2,000 students, doing phenomenally well. But what is telling about it is that in 2019, I went to Seattle in the US of A, and I was picked from the airport by a student who went to that school, who now works for Microsoft. And not only that, they assembled a group of people for me to speak to them, and about 6 of them had previously gone to that, somewhere with Boeing. And
so the investment return is incalculable.
Not, but it is it's incalculable. It's priceless, because what it is that if we're able to support these businesses and not only looking at large corporations and big businesses, then we will be reaching a point where the economy will grow in. If you look at Europe, the strongest economy is Germany, and Germany doesn't have that humongous companies as America and other places have. Their businesses are small, but over time they've grown. Some of them have grown to revenues of about billions of dollars. But the majority of them are all traditional family consistency in quality and support and structures in place.
So you're going to launch a new fund.
Yes.
It's called the Oasis Africa Fund. Tell me about how different. So what is this fund? This is OF2.
Yes.
How different is it from previous ones, and who will it target?
Okay. This fund is targeting to raise $100 million, and from both Ghanaian institutions and international organizations that we are in discussions with and have had very good stride. And I'll give you some details as we go along. But in terms of its character, the distinguishing feature is that the previous funds, which is a Bankasi Venture Fund we set up in 2010, and then the OF1, which we did in 2017, were more thematic and sector focused. So we were focusing on education, health, housing and hospitality, and financial services. But post COVID, we decided to look at our strategy, and then we made a policy that we would like to be sector agnostic. So the distinguishing feature for this is that this is sector agnostic, but in terms of investing, we are still committed to the SME sector.
Wonderful.
I understand the SME is a difficult sector, and most private equity practice, once they start after first attempt, they port away. We have sustained this, and we are going for the third term. And it shows our commitment and resolve to ensure that we will be committed to them. We are here for good, and we are in this for good.
This is not a Ghana-specific focus fund. This is West Africa.
Yeah, in line with Pan-African trade and relationship, and which is headquarters in Ghana. After we also felt that we have not taken advantage of our neighboring economies. If you look at it, the financial sector of Ghana is far more developed. Ghana and Nigeria are far more developed than the other countries in West Africa. And if we prepare ourselves well, we could become leaders of these economies. And
Wonderful.
that is a reason why we are exploring opportunities in other regions as well. But we are dedicated to Ghana primarily, and opportunistically we're looking at other countries.
Let's talk about impact investing. It's a new thing now. Some of the examples you give, education, pensions, I'm sure health as well. How critical is ESG in your investment decisions? And would you describe your fund as an impact investment fund?
Thank you very much, Bernard. I think ESG, which has become it's not a new thing though. It's been there in existence. ESG is very critical to every investment globally, because environmental, social, and governance system that you put in place. And in every, for instance, would you be happy to see that by reason of your policies, HR policies, and the way you act, people have besieged your premises? You cannot operate. So we view them as risk mitigating factor and a development objective, rather than seeing it as a compliance requirement. So it is important, and in fact, prior to us making investment decision, there is diagnostics that are done. We have a dedicated person committed to reviewing and clearing investment which qualifies under the ESG before we even look at the financial, operational, and other stuff.
Wonderful.
Because we see it as an integral part for the development. So it is important.
Let's talk about some of the backers. Who are the investors backing this OAF Fund 2? If you can reveal the identities.
This Fund 2 is being supported primarily by Development Bank Ghana, Venture Capital Trust Fund. We have a number of pension funds through Stanbic. We have Data Bank. We have Standard Pensions. We go Aziz Pension. We have Petra, and we have quite a lot of them, 11 selected entities. And we have also internationally reached the key stage for development, for decision making. Some of them have gone past their initial one. So the tour list includes also, we have the GCB Capital, and we have InvestCorp and Oasis Capital ourselves. Are also investors.
So a lot of people coming together. Is that how it usually works?
Yes, it works in a more developed economies where there are a lot of foundations. So in the case of US, where money is quite available significantly, you know, the US economy is leader in terms of private equity practice. Silicon Valley, almost every idea you bring, you're able to get people to support you. But also it's the same country where you have a lot of foundations, right? Some universities have foundations that have more than $20 billion, and they are able to invest. Of course, I don't know. I went to University of Ghana, but I don't know whether we have even 100 million or we have something like that. But I think these are lessons that we need to learn.
Are companies ready? Are SMEs open for this type of funding?
That is where we need to do a lot of education, because it's fundamentally your average Ghanaian sees ownership of a business as an asset to bequeath, right? Instead of seeing it as an enterprise and a business to build. For me, the end game of every business is that you are building a business and grow the business with a view to selling the business. That should be the objective. So that is where you make the return. So you build a big business and you sell the business. If you want to have income, it is the instruments that you invest in, the shares that you buy, that ends up paying you dividend. So earning dividend, and that is an income perspective. Whilst I see building a business and selling as a return, unfortunately, most of us feel that once you build a business, your daughter or son must be the one to take over. And that is the reason why we have not been able to create generational businesses. And most businesses in Ghana don't last for long, right? I think that we've reached a point in life where that has to change. And that will require a collective effort from all of us in terms of educating everybody, so that when you set business up, the decision makings are not fraught with emotions and other things, and that is driven by sound principles, so that you are not attached too much to the business to the level that we make decisions that become counterproductive.
So you are launching the OAF2 tomorrow.
Yes.
It's a big launch, and then from there, have you already found companies you are putting money in, or you're going to do? How does it work? Do you identify the companies, or companies can say, hey, we are here, come and give us money?
It comes from different deal sourcing comes from different perspectives, but most of them we do synopsis and analysis, and then we go and identify. We also get referrals from business development people. We interact with our banks, and we also get sources from their lawyers, accountants. So they come from a variety of sources.
Wonderful.
In terms of, because we've been in this business for some time, and we are in continuous operation, we've got a very rich pipeline that we are going to review, and we are still reviewing and looking at them. So we will begin to deploy the capital in earnest.
Matthew Bweduaje is the CEO of Oasis Capital, launching a new fund, $100 million. Kaish. It's happening tomorrow. Stay tuned. You'll hear some announcements on this show, I'm very sure, about what else is happening there. Matthew, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Nice one.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
The Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is the trusted name in security.
So it's 20 minutes to 10. GIPCON is the Ghana International Petroleum Conference organized by the MPA in collaboration with the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, the Seaboard, and the Association of Marketing Companies, OAMC. And of course, this is under the auspices of Ministry of Energy. 6th edition comes on the theme, the petroleum downstream, building a future of growth, efficiency and sustainability. I have in studio 2 executives from the MPA to talk about this conference. Osei Yaudankwa is Head of Business Development. Welcome, Osei.
Thank you, Bernard.
Yes, welcome, Osei.
Thank you, Bernard.
And Albert Duncan is also a Business Development Associate from the authority. Gentlemen, Albert, you're also welcome.
Thank you, Bernard.
So tell me more about the GIPCON, gentlemen. Let me start with you, Osei.
So the maiden edition of GIPCON started in 2016.
All right.
Right, and this happens to be the 6th edition. So GIPCON typically over the years brings together regional and international petroleum downstream experts, thought leaders and innovators. So this is to bring guidance into industry perspectives and also ensure industry best practice, promote investments, and also promotes the industry generally, strategies, innovations, etc. So it looks at bringing experts from locally, which is Ghana, the West African sub-region, and also internationally.
And this is a 6th edition.
Yes.
So what's new this year?
So this year, we are looking at the theme, the petroleum downstream industry, building a future for growth, efficiency, and sustainability. As we are aware, the petroleum downstream is a very dynamic one. It constantly keeps changing. There's recently the drive to move towards renewable energy. So we look at the topical issues for the period and we come up with the themes and we come up with topics accordingly. So we look at supply strategies, also harmonizing the regional efforts, and these have been captured through a number of topics which will be discussed during the conference.
Wonderful. Let's talk about the theme, the petroleum downstream, building a future for growth, efficiency and sustainability. So talk a bit about that, gentlemen.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, the theme is developed looking at emerging trends, right? So the industry is very dynamic. There's always the need to evolve with the times, looking at both local and international best practice. So we looked at this to develop the theme, and we developed topics to also ensure that we do justice to the theme as well. If you permit me, Albert, if you could
go through some of the topics to be discussed at the conference.
Yes, some of the topics to be discussed at the conference is the impact of government regulations of downstream businesses, ensuring the sustainability of oil supply, the future of downstream regulation lessons and the way forward. And we have optimizing downstream supply chain for efficiency, growth and sustainability, and local content participation.
Can you go through the topics again?
We have impact of government regulations of downstream businesses, ensuring the sustainability of oil supply, petroleum downstream industry opportunities through AFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Area. Then we have the future of downstream regulations, lessons and the way forward, and optimizing downstream supply chain for efficiency, growth and sustainability.
So who are some of the key speakers, the industry experts who will be participating in the conference?
So we have the key speakers to be the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, the Minister of Energy, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, the CEO of MPA, and the current President of the Africa Refined Distributors Association. And we have Anibo Kraga, Executive Secretary of ADA, Gary Still from CITAC. We have BOG. We have CEO of Association of Bankers. We have IPRA, the Kenya Energy and Petroleum Authority. We have Executive Director of ASEP.
Wow.
Yes, we have the Petroleum Hub Corporation and CEO of BOST and TOR.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now let's talk about what you would like to convey to potential attendees and stakeholders about this upcoming conference. What's the most important thing they need to know?
Okay, so the conference looks to invite stakeholders across the value chain. Like we are aware, the petroleum downstream looks at importation, refinery, bulk distribution, and retail. So stakeholders along this value chain and also support services along the value chain, and the public, the general public, which would like to know more about the petroleum downstream industry. But In participating in the conference, you would have to go to our website to register. Once the registration is done, we will get back to you confirming your participation because we are looking at a restricted number of about 400. However, this is streamed online, and historically we've had as much as 1,500 people joining us virtually from all over the world. And like Albert mentioned, we have a host of sponsors. What he mentioned is just a few. We have over 20 speakers and panelists participating.
And contributors as well.
In the conference. And yeah, so if you want to register, you can go to the website, which is www.ghipcon.com. That is www.gipcon.com. You could also contact us via phone on 0558 223678. That's 0558 223678. So for sponsorship, registration, you can also get in touch with us. If you'd want to also have a booth at the event, an exhibition booth at the event, you could get in touch with us. If you'd want to advertise in the event magazine as well, you could get in touch with us. And this year there's a new addition to GIPCON. Albert will touch on that.
Yes, what's the extra plus?
So the extra plus to GIPCON is the Ghana Downstream Gala Dinner and Awards Night, the first of its kind in the industry, and it's organized in respect of the National Petroleum Authority, in collaboration with the AOMC and COBD, and under the auspices of the Ministry of Energy. It's the Ghana Downstream Gala and Dinner Awards Night, happening on the 19th of July at the Pavilion at Lisa Hotel, North Ridge.
So GIPCON is on 17th and 18th.
Yes.
And then the gala is on the 19th.
On the 19th.
What's the venue for GIPCON?
Marriott Hotel.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And if by registration?
Yes, it's by registration.
Wonderful. So thank you. Any final points?
Yes, I'd want to acknowledge our sponsors, Vitol Ghana, the Bank of Ghana, Glencore Energy, Ernst & Young, Persol Systems, Rock Africa. And just to add, we are still open. We just have a little time before the conference takes off. If you are looking to sponsor, if you are looking to exhibit, if you are looking to advertise and event magazines, if you are looking to get an exhibition booth, the time is now. We have very little time, and we'll be closing that portal shortly. So do get in touch with us, and we'll take it from there.
Yao Dankwa is the head of business development, National Petroleum Authority. Albert Duncan is from the same organization. He's the business development associate. GIPCON starts on the 17th of this month. It's a big conference bringing together sector players in the petroleum industry. Be there. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you, Bernard.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Permit me to introduce you to Twisco, a chocolate food drink with a blend of premium cocoa powder enriched with Anafort. That's a combination of energy boosting minerals and vitamins including B, C, D, iron and many more. Twisco is available in 20 grams and can be found at your nearest neighborhood store in a delightful red sachet for only 1 cedi 80 pesos. To enjoy all the goodness packed in the sachet, empty contents into a mug, mixed with 180 milliliter of previously boiled water, milk and stir. Start your day with a cup of that great tasting Twisco and power your dream. This advert is FDA approved. Now picture this, you're lying in bed after a long day seeking comfort and relaxation, but instead you're met with a mattress that sags beneath you, a reminder of shortcuts and compromises. Your comfort and well-being should never have been compromised. That's why we at Latex Foam prioritize quality above all else. So step into our showrooms and experience the difference for yourself. Our high quality mattresses and furniture are crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. So picture waking up refreshed, rejuvenated and ready to take on the world. That's the Latex Foam promise. Invest in your well-being. Choose Latex Foam. Otherwise, you do yourself. Latex Foam, your partner for life. Visit us today and sleep better tonight. Call us on 0302 231 155 or 0302 2008499 or visit us online at www.latexfoamghana.com. Birthday of Gertrude Nolte. You are 71 years young today. Happy birthday, Madam Gertrude Nolte. This is coming from your in-laws, your children, your grandchildren, and the entire Church of Pentecost Assalamna Assembly. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. And good morning, Bernard and team. Wishing my daughter Vanessa Na Afikwashi of Nsawam, Nana Osai Jan, JHS, and all her colleagues, including candidates in the country, all the best and Godspeed, success. This is coming from Daddy and Mommy. We love you. This is coming from Bernard Kwashi to Vanessa Na Afi. Okay. Hello, CBS. We wish Dr. Janice Osei Donko, a specialist pharmacist at the Tema General Hospital, a happy 40th birthday. We bless God for your life. May you enjoy your milestone and remain blessed always. From Kofi, Phoebe, Nanaya, and Kojo, we love you. That's the message. And a happy birthday, very big one, going to Kwame Afre, HR Manager, Talo, Ghana. We appreciate your leadership style. God bless you and enjoy your day. This is coming from the HR team at Talo. A number of your messages are in as well. We'll be sharing some with you. And good morning to Stephanie. Stephanie in McCarthy. She's doing the listening together with her sisters. It's always amazing having you. Here are some of your messages still on the big conversation we've been having about yesterday's interaction with the media, John Mohammed's interaction with the media. So Eden Charles says, he said, okay, he did answer some of the questions well, some not too well, perhaps because of time, but the conversation for me should be about whether indeed he will do the things he said he will do, especially on corruption. Eden Charles sent that through. And also Lawson David says, I think I've read Lawson David's. I will only rate him. That has also been read. There is more on Facebook. I'll bring them to you shortly. Here we are. 100% impressed. Combian send that through. And then also, so far, he wants votes. Did you expect something different from what he was saying? That was Acoustic Godfred. Abdul Rahim Oscar says, very credible and sensitive. Elam K. Nunana says, this is the man who speaks facts and not promises. Ohinijan says, Mahama was on top of issues. Evans Boatin says, John Dramani Mahama has earned my vote after watching him explain the 24-hour economy. And then there is more. Abdul Hamid Sugulo says, very impressive. I wish we have such engagements in the middle and northern zones. Okay. Emmanuel Sariba says, 99.5% on point, composure, organization, accuracy, audience engagement. Is a really good member of the GJAU. Gabriel Kwesi Mparia says he's on top of issues. He gave razor sharp responses. And then there are more comments, a lot of comments here. Another comment, and then we'll say goodbye to our amazing listeners, and the show continued. Other shows continue on the same network. Kwesi Entry Bosiako says, I watched him closely. He answered questions on top, off the top of his head. It wasn't scripted. Remember what happened when, as soon as he tried to engage the media, he ended up calling sector ministers to come answer questions for him. And then he goes on and on. But yeah, it's the top of the hour already, Nathan.
Yes. What I will say finally is I enjoyed the engagement. I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. It was really enjoyable. And I was really impressed. Again, I said it earlier and I'm repeating it. Former President Mohammed's breadth, the fact that he could answer questions from different sectors on different topics, and he could answer them really well, giving clarity in the answers, and those answers will not leave you in doubt as to what he thinks or what he wants to do. So I hope there's one more before active campaigning kickstarts. I don't know if it should be in Accra or maybe in Kumasi or up north, but I feel there should be one more.
What about a debate between
if it is doable, why not? If it's doable, why not? I believe that it's important that
much of last week I was watching the Kenyan president as he was roasted by Kenyan journalists, and I was wondering if our president will avail himself for the last time before he bids us goodbye as president of Ghana.
He must.
Yeah. But we'll see how that goes. It's time for the news, and Ajua Tinkroma Domina is here with the news at 10. Good morning, Ajua.
Good morning, Caleb.